I'm absolutely pooped today. I had like very intense day at work. As you may know, I was in the ER this week as well. Because my migraine was a bit too much. And my mom is traveling today, like since today. So I was left alone. NZP is coming on Friday. So I was, after work, deep cleaning entire apartment. And it's 2-floor apartment. And I have this thing that every time I clean stuff, like I use like heavy chemicals, for example, to clean the shower, like the smell and the taste lingers for a day for me. So even now I got like, I didn't have dinner. I have Steins, yeah. I have like some berry clouds from Haribo, and I got one. And they all taste like chemicals. Not good, not good. And I smell only chemicals right now. But the entire apartment is squeaky clean. Because tomorrow I'll have no time to do so. So bear with me chewing on the Haribo, but this is like my first food today. And even after the stream I still have to work a bit. Because tomorrow is pretty intense. Ah, good, good, good. I will hydrate. I have tonic that has lemon, lime, and lemongrass in it. Very good one, very good one. Including inflation. Nice. We got taxes. Yeah, let's go. Yes, as you may notice, taxes don't do anything. Like in real life. That's a lot of lemon indeed. Like, I wish I could taste it, right? Unironically, so till tomorrow I will only taste and smell chemicals. Ah. But yeah, I had very, very, very busy time, and even like 15 minutes ago I was still giving in vain to my cat, like the liquids, like I was watering my cat. Ah. So since I have to do a little bit of work after the stream, I don't think we will go past 11 PM my time, which gives us roughly 3 hours. And we'll see how far we can go. And as for the next stream, obviously Saturday is gonna be cancelled. We're gonna continue our chapter tomorrow. Then we'll probably have a stream on Wednesday, I believe, because we should have a new patch in Genshin. So we will be exploring Genshin. And then the next Saturday is gonna be on the schedule, on the normal schedule. Okay, let me get headset. My hair is still wet because at the very end of my cleaning adventure, all I have left for myself was that's like midnight for you, yeah, pretty late. So when I usually clean stuff and I have like to clean the shower, I leave the shower for the very end. So I clean the shower and then I shower myself afterwards. So I didn't have a chance to blow dry my hair. So after I put a headset on, it's gonna look hilarious tomorrow. Okay, wait a second. The game is oh my god loud. Much better. I mean, it is loud for me because I had my headset on 100%. So yeah, from like the announcement, you might see that we got some new icons because I'm having a blast with my new drawing tablet. So we got some new emojis. And we will get more. Don't worry. I'm just checking like the suggestions channel, and that's how we got the poggies and how we got the business. I also have two completely different freaking socks, and one of them seems to be like a little bit too big. Okay. The annoyance is gone. I still have my headset cable tangled. Okay. There we go. So, we left off finishing chapter 4. We successfully managed to change the gender of one of the characters. That is impressive. We just did it using the microwave. we still don't know why we are the only people who are like the only person who is aware of the changes that we're doing to the timelines. Because everyone else seems to be completely like forgetting at the moment that the change happens. And yeah, so far nothing big happened, but before we start we actually need to do one thing because we're trying to get to the to find like true ending, right? So we need to make sure that we cover the triggers. So I need to find the video on that one. I should have done that before the stream. Bear with me, please. We will be there in a moment. Okay, we go to chapter 5. Okay, what do we need to do? Okay, I think we can go. I wonder if we will be even able to get to the stage where we have the first trigger. I have my doubts. I honestly have my doubts about that. I think it's pretty far in the game. Okay, we do the quick load. And that is chapter 5, Dogma and Event Horizon. We didn't check anything out when it comes to this chapter, so that's gonna be pretty new for us. Oh yeah, the cat emotes are actually like not mine. I bought them on Etsy. They were before I got some like personalized. I open my eyes to a deep scarlet sky. I'm on my back, lying face up. The sky is vast and the color ominous. I've never seen it like this before. Where am I? I stood up. There is nothing here. A wasteland scratches to the horizon, nothing but rocks and the dust as far as the eye can see. No plants, no water, no sun, no moon. No warmth, no cold, not a single breath of wind. It looks like hell. A frozen world. It can't be Earth. Mars, I could believe. Why am I here? This must be a dream. I give up thinking about it and lie down again on the sand. I guess I'll wake up soon. I should just wait until then. I wait, but the dream shows no sign of ending. Have I ever had a dream like this lucid before? There's a terrible ringing in my ears that keeps me awake. I realize that it's the sound of silence. My belongings are gone. I have no watch, no phone. The lack of motion numbs my sense of time. How long have I been lying here? It might have been only a second. It might have been 3 days. An epiphany. The concept of time is a human construct. The universe at large has no use of it. Time is a cage and we created to feel secure. Within its walls we can forget our own insignificance. I'm thirsty. It hurts to breathe. This void is no place for a human. We're not strong enough to live in a world without time. Tears fill my eyes. What do they mean? I no longer know. I want to die. Yes, let's die. But what is death? To be frozen in time. Time stopped for me long ago. How can I die in a world that is already dead? Everything inside me is crumbling away. Who am I? I can barely recall. My soul is melting into the void. Is someone there? Anyone? Something moves in the corner of my eye. Impossible. I try to move my eyes, but I've forgotten how. Ah, we have her, like, she's gonna wake us up. She already did it once, right? We can trust in her. A pleasant voice silences the buzzing in my ears. It reminds me who I am, Okaberin Taro. Okay, that is huge because it's first time he actually referred to him as Okaberin Taro and not Hoin Kyoma. That is big. This time my eyes moved. That sounded like a serial killer talking. Found you. I mean, would it be a little bit better if she was like, I found you, and then proceeds to stab. There's a girl sitting on a nearby rock. I recognize her. My frozen brain comes alive. Her presence breathes new life into this dead world. Mayuri. My brain is still half asleep and I cannot speak. It's Mayuri, Shina Mayuri, my oldest friend. She smiles at me, swinging her legs. How does she know? How does she know? Why is she the one who knows? That is the important question right now. Mayuri is eternal. This is a dream, right? She exists in past, present, and the future at the same time. The eternal Tuturu. I think she's right that despite taking the concept of multiple timelines, every variant of yourself should be the original one. We can make a whole Bible out of this. And the first day she spoke to Turu. Second day she spoke to Turu. And on the third day she ate a banana. Okay, now it got ominous. This is a dream, right, Mayuri? It's A-okay. It's fine. We're gonna die here. We're gonna die here for sure. But another Mayuri and another Okarin will pick stuff up. Or Okab and Mayuri, Adam and Eve. No, because they're gonna die. I jerk away on the top of the sofa. My body is drenched in sweat. I must have fallen asleep sometime around noon. What a horrible nightmare. Back to the future. I guess that threatening email I got is still waiting on my mind. Oh, right, because after we changed the timeline for Akiba, right, we got a message from an unknown email saying that we are being watched. Because our last action in chapter 4 was that we went to the ferries and she wanted to change the past and she wanted to send a message to her father like a few years back. And as we know, her family was responsible for the fact that Akiba became like the center of Moe. And after we changed the timeline, the center of Moe is a different neighborhood, while Akiba is now the tech center. And Faris seems to actually have life with her dad, and I think that is something that she was missing before badly. At least it looked like this. Still, Mayuri had to save me, even in a dream. That's unacceptable. I'm the one who saves her. That's the way it should be. Besides, Mayuri's not smart enough to talk about time travel like that. I sit up and look around the room. She's right where I expect to find her. In front of the TV, watching Rainet Kakkeru DVD. On the screen, the Upa riding Kakkeru's shoulder is screaming something unintelligible. Look at her sitting there all spaced out. Mayuri needs my protection. That the dream was wrong. I checked Dr. P and checked my phone. No new email. I sent Tyler an email several hours ago just to make sure that he really isn't Suzuha father. He hasn't replied yet. Obviously, that one the others don't know that I changed into the past. Freaking Nyan. We got like Nyalong and we got Nyaon right now. We gotta learn. We gotta learn the cat girl language. I could have sworn her real name was Akiharu Miho. Also funny thing, because Faris was kinda like escaping the reality by becoming a cat girl at a maid cafe, right? And after we changed the time, so the cafe doesn't even exist right now. She's still a cat girl. She's still rocking that freaking outfit and she's still adding Nyan to every sentence. Don't tell me, could the D-mail have changed that too? Of course, she's just being her usual self. If Paris is calling me, it might be about the IBN 5100. She did promise to help us find one. We also lost the IBN after we changed the time for the guy who wanted to be a girl and is now finally a girl. I absolutely forgot the name of the character. The IBN that we had was also gone. More of Fari's usual nonsense? Black Angel 12?
そんなにいるのか？インフレしすぎだろ。それだけ奴らは本気だってことにゃ。今日は残念だけどチェックメイトにゃ。いやまだ。
チェックメイトにゃ。
あれさえ手に入れれば形勢を逆転できる。IBN5100 の情報は。にゃー。ごめんや。世界中の情報をかき集めてるけどまだ見つかってないにゃ。
What? So she has no progress to report?
急いでくれ。俺にはもう時間がない。わかったにゃ。見つかった時はフェイリスから連絡するにゃ。今日はそれの。
Hold on to your 9 lives.
ああ。死ぬのか。ルー。
He hung up before I could finish. Damn it, that's why I hate talking to Faris. Anyway, moving on. This time around, my search for an IBN 5100 is going poorly. Actually, I suppose I should consider myself lucky for having found one so easily the first time. I mean, the IBN 5100 is practically an urban legend. There are people like Moeka who've spent months searching with no success. Last time, it barely took me 3 days to reach Yanabayashi Shrine, almost as if something was guiding me there. It was fate. No, it was the choice of Steins Gate. And that's why its loss is so painful.
さすが幻って言われる PC だよな。
Dad is sitting at his computer, like always.
アットちゃん情報だけどさ、何年か前にコレクターがうん千万円出してまで手に入れたって話もあるらしいよ。IBN5100 やばい、マジやばい。
そこまでプレミアがつくとは。
Then people must know their secret. They're all after the data in CERN's mainframe.
僕的にはすごく不思議なんだよね。実際なんでそんな値段がつくのかマジで謎。もともと高かったっていうのもあるかもしれないけど、当時の値段で2万ドルぐらいしたらしいから。
$20,000. That is
それ
expensive.
にしても手に入らなさすぎな気はする。確かにいいマシンだけど、それはあくまで当時としてはだし、そんな血眼になってまで手に入れる価値があるとは思えねえ。誰かが買い占めてたりして。
The harder something is to obtain, the stronger the desire for it becomes. That's how people are. And that's exactly how I feel now. In the depths of CERN, completely isolated from the outside, lies a database coded with an IBN 5100. What secrets are sleeping there? Could it contain the data from CERN's time machine research? Could there be proof that the Committee of 300 exists? The desire to know grows stronger by day. It's not just about plunging the world into chaos anymore. We need the power to oppose CERN's evil ambitions. And then there's that threatening email to consider. There is confidence that CERN won't find us, but I can't afford to take that for granted. After all, we're up against the brightest minds in the world, the scientists who invented the World Wide Web. And they're backed by a secret organization more powerful than any nation. We're way out of our league here. They'd have to have no trouble at all crushing our puny lab if they desired. That's why we need a trump card to hold against them. But without an IBN 5100, we can't move forward. I'm getting restless.
うお、なんじゃこりゃ。
The heck did he found? Daru suddenly lurched forward to stare at his monitor.
どうした？
いや、こんなのありえないんですけど。
どういうことか説明しろ。
今セルンのルート券ゲットしようといろいろ調べてて、
He's having so much fun doing that.
なんかやけにセルンのデータベースの情報が落ちてくんのが早いなぁと思ってたんだけど、これすげえよ。なぜかこのビル周辺からセルンまで直通の光回線が通ってる。しかも
直通と普通。
文字通り直通。こっからフランスにあるセルンまで
What?
マジで光ケーブルが直接つながってる。
Why would that be? A fiber optic cable running from underneath this building to CERN's headquarters in France.
普通の場合は違うのか？
全然違うっつーの。
Daru calls up the National Assemblies of France website. Then he brings up the command prompt and hammers out some commands.
ほら見てみ。これはこの PC からフランスの国民議会のサイトを見るときの経路なわけ。この PC の IP アドレスが0番のとこな。で、その後日本国内のいろんな箇所を経由してからフランスに飛んで、そこからさらに国民議会のサイトが置いてあるところまでフランス国内のコンピュータを経由してる。国民議会のサイトを見るためには16の経路が必要なわけ。
Okay, that seems legit.
平均転送速度は 300ms ぐらい。海外ならこんぐらいが普通。わかりやすく言うと、日本からフランスのサイトを見に行くための道。これはフランスだけじゃなくて他の国でも同じだし、日本国。じゃあ次にセルンを見てみるお。
Daru calls up CERN's homepage on the browser. Then he displays the route like the last time. The result.
経路はたったの1。
Unlike before, the signal doesn't pass through any intermediate servers. The PC we're using, its registered name is Akihabara PC, is connected directly to CERN in France.
しかも転送速度は普通の数百倍だ。むちゃくちゃ速い。こんな。
なぜ直通なんだ？
クラックする前からこの状態だったのだぜ。僕は何もいじってねえもん。
このビルには以前からセルンとのホットラインがあるわけか。偶然とは思えないな。これは
普通だったら絶対にありえない。 日本のデータ通信網とは完全に独立したケーブルが1本だけここからセルンまでつな
That
が
is
って
so
る
excited, he
なんて
interrupted me.
そんなもんを日本やフランスの通信会社が設置するとは思えないしとなると
設置したのはセルン自身か。
Derek gulps and nods. Cold sweat oozes from his brow. I feel a chill as well. CERN might be able to see everything we're doing. No, maybe CERN has been expecting us for years. How could that be? The answer is simple. John Tyler claims that CERN completed their time machine in 2034. Just 2 years later, the world is a dystopia under their rule. Maybe the CERN of 2034 considers our position in 2010 a threat. Maybe they use their time machine to travel to 3000 and install a fiber optic cable to track our every move. It's entirely possible. Has the invention of the time machine started an intertemporal war? If so, what can we do? Our enemy might be stronger than even I can imagine. No, I mustn't lose heart. I need to think positive. I wonder how
で
he
も
will
さ
flip it.
この直通回線があるおかげで
The important
NHC
question,
を
how
こ
he
の
will...
PC からでも使えるようになったお
We can now control the LGC gun remotely. No.
本当にやったのか。
すごいよ、ダルくん。
Mayuri pauses her DVD and comes up beside me.
これだけの転送速度だからさ遠隔操作もタイムラグほぼゼロだおまだ実際に試してないけど
That's right. Even if this is some kind of CERN trap, we might be able to make use of it. They're still vulnerable to our attack.
LHC ってあの20キロ以上ある大きなトンネルでしょ。
要所を加速して衝突させる。
そうそうミニブラックホールを
公式発表じゃミニブラックホールは陽子衝突の過程で副産物的に生まれる可能性があるだけって言ってたけど実は違ったんだわな。
極秘の内部資料によれば初めからブラックホールを作るために建設された装置だった。
But we still don't know exactly how they do it. We need to think of a way to...
岡部
Teresa suddenly emerges from the development room. She was cooped up in there all morning. Her expression is unusually grave.
どうした？
やっと解が出た。
Figured what out?
電話レンジの仕組みのことよ。
解明したのか？
Teresa nods. She still hasn't smiled.
あくまで私がわかる範囲で導き出した仮説だけど、今話してた LHC とも大きく関係する話。
LHC は世界一大きな電子レンジである。そういう例えを挙げたのはお前だ、クリスティーナ。
そう、その通りだった。予想は電話レンジはとんでもない化け物よ。
A monster.
こんな雑居ビルの一室に置いといていいものじゃない。もちろんネガティブな意味で。
Teresa clutches her arms as if to keep from trembling.
具体的に説明してもらおう。
電子レンジってもともとはリーダーの研究の結果偶然生まれたことは知ってる。
Darren and I do not. Mayuri shakes her head. We read up on all that back then. The phone wave started acting weird.
発生する電磁波の周波数は 2.45GHz のマイクロ波。電話レンジに使われているのは業務用の強力なやつだから、出力は1500から2000ワットくらいある。で、ここからが重要。
Teresa goes on to explain that the electromagnetic waves output by the microwave are somehow connected to the electromagnetic waves output by the phone. In fact, you could say that they fuse together.
確かにダルの設計図によれば、電子レンジと携帯、2つの機器に共通する電磁波を飛ばすためのリード線は、マグネトロンの陰極と陽極にそれぞれ結線してある。
On one hand, we have the microwave super strong electromagnetic waves, originally a byproduct of the military research into radar technology. On the other, we have the cell phone's standardized electromagnetic waves, a frequency now ubiquitous throughout the world. What happens when you fuse those two
どっ
waves?
ちも電波を使うことに関しては一致している。 それがどんな範囲でどんな強さで影響を及ぼすのかはちゃんと調べたわけじゃないし、私は専門家でもないから想像がつかないけど、仮に携帯電話を踏み台にして周囲何百キロっていう広範囲に影響を及ぼすような軍事用電磁波がまき散らされたとするなら、秋葉原どころか東京が丸ごと電子レンジの中と同じ状態になる。中にいる人が死に至るまでの時間は体重差にもよるけど3分。
マジ？じゃあ電話レンジって大量破壊兵器ってことじゃ
Is
ね？
it really that powerful?
あの電話レンジの中で起きてることを教えてあげる。レンジ内の目に見えない水素に対し電磁波のエネルギー順位が上昇する。これは通常の電子レンジの機能。そこに携帯電話の拡散型電磁波が加わること、レンジ内のあらゆる素粒子が衝突を繰り返すごとに質量を増していって高速に近い円運動を始める。それはいわば加速器のようなもの。
加速器？
It's literally the same as the LGC.
じゃあ LHC がミニブラックホールを生成するために作られた。やはりこの電話レンジカッコ仮もミニブラックホールを生み出している。
Lisa doesn't deny
こん
it.
なに安定して動作しているのが奇跡よ。ただまだわからない点があって、ミニブラックホールが生成されたとしてもそれは一瞬で蒸発してしまうはずなの。
It's been easy to pretend to be someone you're not. Ultimately, however, there is no escaping the contradictions between your false self and the real you. It's a paradox, and paradoxes can't hold. I tried to tell myself that I didn't need anyone, that forming bonds would only hurt, but somehow I ended up joining your circle of friends. I still don't know if it was for the best. No, I'm sure it was. Without you, I would have given up on ever finding my dad. I don't know why I wrote all this. I guess what I'm trying to say is thanks. Are we sharing confessions now? Be careful to whom you expose your innermost feelings. Ah!
でもこの電話レンジはどうやらそうじゃない。バナナや唐揚げがゼリーマンになっていることからそれは明らか。LHC と同じようにミニブラックホールはカーブラックホールに変化している。
タイターの理論によればミニブラックホールにカーブラックホール効果を生み出すためには電子注入が必要だった。
その注入される電子がどこから来ているのか、それがわからないの。 LHC はリフターによってブラックホールに電子を注入して重力場をコントロールしていた。リフターに代替するものがこの電話レンジのどこかにある。
どこかって？
だからわからないのよ。
I guess that was what it comes down to. All Chris's explanation does is confirm our hypothesis that the phone wave functions the same as the LGC.
LHC とは何か復習してみる必要がありそうだな。
It's time for our LJC Moe guy to shine.
LHC はラージハドロンコライダーの略だね。
ハドロン？
And a drone?
素粒子の名前。
でこいつはフランスとスイスにまたがる形で作られた円形、全長は約27キロ、地下100メートルの深さにある。トンネルの中には2本のリングが通ってて、リングの中は超低温の真空状態なんだお。つまり宇宙環境を再現してるわけ。マジ燃える。陽子の加速は隣接する施設から線形加速器陽子シンクロトロンブースター SPS で段階的に加速されて、最後に LHC に注入され敷き詰められた超電導磁石による最後の加速を行う。
The organization. Yeah, for
最終
sure.
的に
Everything
は
is
高速の
organization's fault.
99.99991% にまで達するを。 LHC やばい。電話レンジほどじゃないけどな。
Which reminds me that I've actually seen. Wait a second. A guy who put his head in the particle accelerator. Okay, well, we're gonna stop for a second and we're gonna learn about a guy. Hello, little boy. This guy. This is a guy I actually read about today. And Anatoly Bugorsky, that was born in 1942, is a retired particle physicist. He's known for having survived a radiation accident in 1978 when a high-energy proton beam from a particle accelerator passed through his head. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go that deep. We will see in a moment. As a researcher at the Institute of High Energy Physics in Prudfino, Bugorsky worked with the largest particle accelerator in the Soviet Union. On 13th of July, he was checking. Oh, that's like in 2 days. In 2 days, it's gonna be like a freaking anniversary for that one. Let's go. He was checking a malfunctioning piece of equipment when the safety mechanisms failed. Bugorsky was leaning over the equipment when he stuck his head in the path of the GV proton beam. He reportedly saw a flash brighter than 1,000 suns, but did not feel any pain. The beam passed through the back of his head, the occipital and temporal lobes on his brain, the left middle ear, and out through the left hand side of his nose. The exposed parts of his head received a local dose of a lot of Röntgen. It's June. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, I was pretty sure it's July. Sorry. In a month and 2 days. Bugorsky understood the severity of what had happened, but continued working on the malfunctioning equipment and initially opted not to tell anyone what happened. Doctors expected him to die, but he survived with the severe but non-fatal injuries. The left half of Bugorsky's face swelled up beyond recognition, and over the next several days the skin started to peel, revealing the path that the proton beam had burned through the parts of his face, his bone, and the brain tissue underneath. As it was believed that he had received far in excess of a fatal dose of radiation, Bugorsky was taken to a clinic in Moscow where the doctors could observe his expected demise. However, Bugorsky survived, completed his PhD, and continued working as a particle physicist. There was virtually no damage to his intellectual capacity, but the fatigue of mental work increased markedly. Bugorsky completely lost hearing in the left ear, replaced by a form of tinnitus. The left half of his face became paralyzed due to destruction of nerves. He was able to function well, except for occasional complex partial seizures and rare tonic-clonic seizures. The paralyzed side of his face never aged. Oh, that is pretty cool, come on! The paralyzed side of his face never aged. That's super cool. Bugorsky continued to work as a physicist at the Institute of High Energy Physics, eventually becoming the experiment coordinator for the same particle accelerator by which he was injured. Because of the Soviet Union's policy of maintaining secrecy on nuclear power-related issues, Bugorsky did not speak publicly about the accident for over a decade. He continued going to the Moscow Radiation Clinic twice a year for examinations and to meet with other nuclear accident victims. He was described as a poster boy for Soviet and Russian radiation medicine. In 1996, he applied unsuccessfully for disability status to receive free epilepsy medication. He showed interest in making himself available for study to Western researchers but could not afford to leave Prudfino. There's like another guy. I also read about him today. He put a hand somewhere. We will not even try to pronounce it. Let's say this is gonna be Tran. Is a Vietnamese nuclear scientist and a former deputy director of Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology. In 1992, he accidentally put his hand over an electron beam, leading to amputation of his right hand. Why people stuck body parts in accelerators? Oh, I haven't. Is it gonna be like the reboot of the visual novel or the anime? Why the heck people just stuck body parts in particle accelerators? That is my biggest question. He graduated with the same uni as me.
でもって 加速させた陽子を1秒間に10億から100億回ぐらい衝突させる。そこで起きる高エネルギー反応について観測するのが LHC 計画の目的って一応公表されてる。大嘘だったけど。
I guess that about covers it. Okay, so we had a moment of
そこで
fangirling over
ラボメン諸君
LGC,
に聞
right?
きたい。
I think it would be a
我が電話
virtual
レンジ
novel,
各係
and
によって
UDS plan to release
セ
before
ルンを
October
出
12th.
し抜
That
き
is pretty
物理
soon.
的タイムトラベルは可能かどうか。
That's actually pretty close in time. I mean, I just said we were in July, right? So it's only a few months.
問題は2点ある。局所場指定とリフター。
局所場指定については前も言った通りだ。
検証もなしに結論を出すのは危険よ。
Agreed.
リフターの代わりを担っているものについてはすでにあることは分かっている。
見つけられるとは思えない。この小さな電子レンジの中を私たちはもう何日もかけて調べまくっているけど、もし仮に見つけ出したとしても注入する電子量の調整にはさらに膨大な時間がいる。
膨大ってどんぐらい？
セルンは9年をかけても解決できていない。
We're just amateurs, so it's bound to take even longer. Wait, I have an idea.
ならば発想を逆転させてみよう。セルンは人間を物理的にタイムトラベルさせようとしたが、注入電子量の調整がうまくいかず、得意点を裸にできていない。それはこの電話レンジカッコ仮も同じことだ。ゼリーマンにならず、無事に送れるデータ量は36バイトプラスアルファだけ。そこで逆に考えるんだ。一人の人間を丸ごとデータ化し、それを36バイトプラスアルファまで圧縮してしまえばいいと考えるんだ。
Imagine being compressed into 36
そうす
bytes.
れば D メールと同じようにリング得意点を通過できるではないか。
人間を丸ごとデータ化ってそんなことできるわけないじゃん。もしできたとしてもそのデータ容量天文学的な数字になるんじゃね？それを
Yeah,
いいアイデアだと思ったんだが。
I guess it's not that easy. The barriers to time travel are just too high. I turned to Kurisu, meaning to ask her opinion, and then I realized that her expression has changed dramatically. Her eyes are wide as saucers, and her mouth is hanging open.
そうか。それならもしかしたら
She pauses for a second and
で
then...
きるかもしれない。
Do what? Time travel? It's hard to believe what Kurisu is saying, even though it was my idea in the first place.
本気で言っているのか。
Kurisu grins triumphantly in response.
少なくともデータ容量の超圧縮については簡単よ。 LHC で作ったブラックホールを利用すればいい。ブラックホールは飲み込んだあらゆるものを超圧縮するものが、単なるデータなら人間みたいに潰されることで命が失われることもない。
I get it, but wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? And besides...
人間のデータ化についてはどうするつもりだ。
サイエンス誌に私の論文が載ったっていうことは知ってる？
なぜいきなり自慢を始めるのだ。
その論文を読んだことは？
Also, did you hear about the novel that was cancelled, probably because of Steins Gate Zero, called Steins Gate: The Community of Antimatter? I haven't. I was surprised not so long ago to learn that there is Steins Gate Zero, because the last time I had any involvement with the series is when the Oniman came out. So I'm new to it like yet again. I haven't.
おう、その後のサイエンス誌ならスキャンして撮ってあるお。
Daru opens up his image folder, scrolls past tons of 2D porn, and opens up his scanned image. Sure enough, there's Kurisu's name in big English letters.
論文のタイトルは側頭葉に蓄積された記憶に関する神経パルス信号の解析。
側頭葉、神経パルス。
This teases even if it's impossible, each man's making to data is impossible. It is making each man's memory data. Oh, that is such a horrible translation. The possibility is bold, and it discusses it in detail. The research and study area credibility is very high, and it is certain only impossible in the present technology. I just can't do that.
オカリン知らな？
いや待て、からかうのはよせ。このタイトルは
脳科学専攻ですけど何か？
What? I But from the way she talks about particle accelerators and time travel theory, I was sure she had to be a physicist.
いや、それはまあいいとして。
人間丸ごとのデータ化は無理でも、人間の記憶丸ごとのデータ化なら可能っていうこと。
Converting memories to data, Kurisu proceeds to explain her thesis. Memories accumulate in something called the parahippocampal gyrus, or hippocampus, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. But what exactly are memories? Kurisu's thesis analyzes the question from a neuroscientific perspective. All of the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons. Even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. Kurisu analyzed how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanism by which humans recall memories can be likened to a word association game. You begin with a vague abstract image which calls successive images of increasing
タン
clarity.
スの引き出しの一つ一つには小さい箱がびっしり入ってるの。で、そのたくさんの箱の中にもさらに小さな小箱がいっぱい。そんな風に想像してもらえばいい。
Kurisu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search up memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. It was the successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kurisu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community.
この研究単体だけじゃ岡部の言ったアイデアとは全然関係なさそうだけど、もう一つあるの。
Steins gave the Committee of Antimatter was delayed to January 2015 but was cancelled 1 month before in December 2014. Maybe they cancelled it for a reason. Maybe the Committee of Antimatter was showing too much of truth.
私の通ってる大学、ビクトル・コンドリア大学の精神生理学研究所がビジュアルリビルディング、略してVR 技術っていうのを何年か前に開発した。簡単に説明すると、ビデオカメラなんかの映像機器に映した風景、逆に神経パルスを普通の電気信号にコンバートすることもできる。で、この VR 技術と私たちの研究を組み合わせて、
まさか
人間の記憶ので。
それだけじゃない。記憶の移植、バックアップ、外部保存、そういうことが。
It's like science fiction, in a sense that this technology could be used to copy a person's soul. According to Kurisu, some religious groups strongly oppose to this research, as you might expect. On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. In any case, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. Of course, she did have a university supporting her, but still.
つまりお前はこう言いたいのだな。それを LHC で発生させたミニブラックホールを利用して超圧縮電話レンジカッコ仮で生成したカーブラックホールのリング携帯電話を通して過去の被験者自身の脳に記憶だけをぶち込む。
どういうこと？記憶だけの時間跳躍。物理的転送によるタイムトラベルと区別するために、仮にこっちはタイムリープと定義し、肉体を含めた物理的転送ではなく、あまりに突飛すぎて誰もまともに考えようとしなかった方法。
He's right. The idea is ridiculous, which is exactly why none of the geniuses at CERN could come up with it. But this union of physics, neuroscience, and neurophysiology will make it the impossible possible. To transfer memories to the past via cell phone, to time leap.
ポイントは、転送するのは記憶だけってこと。人格や意識についてはこれに含まない。
どういうことだ？ SF 小説でよくあるタイムリープとは何か違うのか？
SF とかでよくあるタイムリープは意識、人格、記憶の全てが跳躍。でも意識や人格まで含めるとデータ量は膨大になるだろうし、意識、人格と記憶は別と考えて。記憶はコンピューターでいうところの画像データや映像データと同じ。それに対して意識と人格はいわば OS ということになる。
容量ってことなら OS より画像や映像の方が大きい場合。
あくまで例えよ。そもそも 人格や意識って未だにどこにあるのか、どん
And
な
this
仕組
is
みでそれ
something
が
we
成立
talked
しているの
about
か
before.
はっきりしない。
About all the little things in our bodies that shape us into who we are, along with the memories, right?
だからそれをデータ化して移植するのは少なくとも私には無理。
記憶だけなのどんなデメリットが予想される？
パーソナリティは記憶だけで形成されるわけじゃない。だから記憶を転送しても転送先の意識や人格に依存。
マインドーズで言うとビスタの入ってる PC で作ったデータを95の入ってる PC にコピペするって感じか。
最新の OS で作られたデータが旧式の OS でちゃんと動作するかはわからないわけ。それに例えば小学生の頃の自分に今の記憶を転送した場合、
いずれにせよ過去の自分の体に転送することが前提条
Carissa
件
knows on my
E
question.
メールと同じように携帯電話を介して行われる跳躍だから、正確に言うと過去の自分の体でなおかつ携帯を持ってる時点までしか跳躍できないと思う。
There was an exception in Lukaku's case where we sent a D-mail to a pager, but that doesn't apply to time leaping.
それに飛ばされた先が同一人物じゃないと、例えれば電気信号がマッチングせずに弾かれてしまう。
そもそも他人の体に入っちゃったら大変だしね。まあ僕的には
Dado, please, for the love of
可愛い
God.
女の子の中なら
Is this
喜んで
guy
入る
capable of a
けど
non-perverted thought?
うへへじゃないわよ。
Don't
弾かれるだけならいいけど、もしかすると深刻な人格障害まで起きる恐れがあるのよ。どんな結果になるかわからない人類初の試みだから。
That makes us pioneers. I like it.
はっきりしているのは、自分が生まれる以前へは絶対にいけないということ。自分が2人同時に存在することはないっていうこと。タイムパラドックスが発生する心配はない。自分が生まれる前に親を殺すことはできないの。
携帯がブラックホールとホワイトホールの代わり。
It seems like a strange coincidence that cell phones would be the medium of time travel, but really, could it have been anything else? These days, people wear their phones like a second skin. No other medium could reliably deliver the memories to their intended target. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this was meant to be. Hello. I whip out my phone and place it to my
俺
ear.
だ全ての点が一本の線でつながったクリスティーナにはまんまと騙さ
I
れたが
can't. Every time he pulls up the phone, I just can't.
我らにとってまさにシュタインアンゼルナうまくやってみせるさ
Nothing can
今
stop
の
us
俺たち
now.
は無敵だ
I put away my phone and turned to Kurisu.
今言った通りだクリスティーナこれより
あ、いや、少しはどういうことか説明しろよ。
お前の言うタイムリープ案を全面採用すると言っているのだちなみにここまで俺をその気にさせておいて
まあ、秋葉原ならパーツも揃ってるからなんとかなるとは思うけど。
Go anywhere in Akibana and you can just freaking buy parts for the time leap machine, okay?
決まりだこれよりお前を作戦主任に任命する人類史上初のタイムリープマシンを完成させるぞ
Kurisu nods. Her eyes are shining with a fierce, hungry light. As I thought, she is a scientist to the core. Mayuri and Daru go home, leaving me with Kurisu. She's sitting in the development room chair, endlessly twirling a pen in her fingers.
一体何をやっているんだ
考えてるのよ。タイム作れそうなことは分かったけど、もし実際に使った
Oh,
ら
now she has
何が起こるの
concerns.
か。
そうか
She hasn't even started working on the machine and she's already worried about what comes afterwards. That takes confidence, alright? Are all geniuses like this? What will happen when we use it? I doubt we can find an answer to that question, not without testing it live. Kurisu knows that. What she's really wondering is whether it's worth the risk. That's why I avoid arguing with her.
あまり悩むなよ。今は完成させることを優先するんだ。
偉そうに。
Risu groans and flops down on the desk. It's strange to see her like this. She's usually so cool and collected. But maybe that's an act, and this is who she really is.
ねえ、岡部、全く関係ない相談していい？
関係ない相談ではなく関係ある相談を
They're
してく
talking
れ。
about something related.
この前言ってくれたでしょ？いつでも相談
Ah,
する。
he forgot. Did he forget that he actually like promised her to be like a shoulder to cry on if anything happens? I don't remember that if he forgot that.
私って父親に嫌われてるのよね。
She sighs sadly. Ah, so that's what she wants to talk about. A conundrum. This isn't like before, when she was merely an advisor. The Time Leap project depends on Kurisu to succeed. It is clear, however, that she will be unable to focus as long as those petty concerns distract her. In that case, it falls to me, the great Hoa in Kyoma, to solve her problem once and for all. Only then she can devote herself fully to the future of the lab.
いいだろう。
ほんと偉そう。
この前の電話、相手は父親か？
I am speaking, of course, of when I found Kurisu outside the lab crying into her phone. The mood was delicate.
いつからかな。父親に嫌われるようになったのって。私が渡米する前からあからさまに避けられるようになった。家族なのにね。
お前自身の父親への態度はどうだったんだ？
昔はお父さん子だった。結構けなげだ
I
っ
see
た
her
よ。
being daddy's little girl. She smiles, but in her smile I see a hint of self-mockery.
父親は物理学者なんだけど、私は小難しい話を聞かされるのが大好きな子供だった。なんとか理解したくて、小さい頃から物理学の本も読みまくって。
She started studying physics at 5. Damn, I guess that's what makes her a genius. Or perhaps the yearning for her father's love was what gave birth to her
おかげ
genius.
で学校の成績は算数だけずば抜けてよかった。他の父親の書いた論文だって読んだのよ。小学生じゃ到底理解できそうもなかったけど、自分その論文について父親と議論できるレベルにまでなったのが、父親と物理学の話をきちんとできるのが嬉しくて楽しくて、そしていつも私が論破して終わってた。
それは嫌われる。間違いなく嫌われる。
Definitely see how that would make him hate you. Ah, Okabe, shut the hell up. A tragedy fitting for a girl genius. What kind of scientist loses to a grade school girl anyway?
やっ
Seriously.
ぱりそう思う。
やっぱりどころの話ではない。
確かにあの人ってプライド。とにかくある時期を境についにはママとも険悪になって家に帰ってこなくなったの。父親が大好きだった私はそうなったのが自分のせいかもって責任を感じて、それでママが海外留学を勧めてくれたってわけ。
So that's why she went to
お前は
America.
優秀すぎたというわけだ。それで今は
わからない。
Risa looks down.
父親は日本にいるのだろう。一度でも会ったのか？
ううん、結局会えてない。この前の電話はその件。会いに行っていいか聞いたら来るなって。
Her father has quite an inferiority complex. No wonder she was crying. Even for someone as strong-willed as Kurisu, it must hurt to hear that from her father.
それに会っても何を話せばいいのか。嫌われてからも私の方から一生懸命話しかけたんだけど、いつも無視されて、それがすごく辛かった。その記憶があるからまた無視されるんじゃないかと思って。
泣いているのか？
とじわっときただけよ。
お前は今でも父親と和解したいと思っている。そう思っていないなら父親のことを俺に相談したりはしないし、会いたくないと言われて泣いたりもしないだろう。
確かに。
素直な気持ちを言えばいい。お父さんが大好きですとな。
私の性格的に無理だと思うわけだが。
父親相手に何を可愛こぶっているのか。
Kurisu jerks upright, her face bright red.
ぶってないわよ。
いいや、ぶっている。そんなことでは和解などできんぞ。ありのままをストレートにぶつけるしか解決策はない。相手に伝わらなければ意味がないのだ。もしそれでも分かってもらえないなら、それは和解の目がないということになる。
時間ってどれくらい？
そんなものは俺に分かるわけがない。お前と一つしか年は変わらないのだから。お前がアメリカに行ったのは何年？7年経っても変わらなかったのなら、そう
よね。
Kurisu sighs heavily and rests her chin in her hand. Did my advice backfire? It looks like she's even more depressed now. I fold my arms and rack my brain for a solution. I don't want to see Kurisu like this. It's pathetic.
それでいつ会いに行くんだ
Kurisu opens her eyes wide in confusion. I take out my phone and bring up the calendar.
夏休み中なのは確定として、行くときはあらかじめ早めに声をかけてくれ。
何言ってんの？
俺にも予定がある。急に言われたら合わせられないかもしれない。
あ、いや、もしかして一緒に来るつもりか？
いかにも。お前は俺の助手だ。
Kurisu looks dumbfounded. What? Did I say something wrong?
なんだそれ。冗談もほどほどに。
俺はどこまでも本気だ。日本国内ならばどこへでもついて行ってやる。
Anywhere you want, anywhere in
国
Japan.
外だとパスポートを持っていないし、金もないから難しいか
Go
な。
anywhere in the world, but I don't have a passport or money. Ah.
父親と二人きりだと何を話していいかわからないのだろう。だから俺も一緒にいてやれば問題ない。この法王院京馬が空気を読んだ見事な話題を提供してやる。なぜ笑う？
だってあんたが空気を読めた試しないじゃない。
あ、
By Jove, she's right. A mad scientist does not care about things like tact or decorum. He dominates the room with his sheer presence. Perhaps a softer touch is called for here.
でもありがとう。そこまで言ってくれるなんて。嬉しいとかそういうんじゃないけど、ほんとあんたってたまにいいやつになるから困るよね。
Confusing how? Why is she yelling at me anyway? Shouldn't she be thanking me instead?
ねえ岡部、今言ってくれたこと本気にしていいんだよね？
当たり前だ。
じゃあ電話レンジの改良が終わったら一緒についてきて。
任せるがいい。で、青森？
父親は今そこに住んでる。
That's way up the north end of the island. Like 700 kilometers or something. I wasn't expecting to have to go that far.
何よ、やっぱりやめたとか言うなよ。もう決定だからな。無理やりでも連れて行くからな。
I mean, he pretty much looks as if he was like trying to bail out, to be honest.
望むところだ。
It's promising to go to Amori. We'll let Kurisu concentrate on the time leap machine. It's a small price to pay. A small price indeed. We have a list written by Kurisu of parts for the time leap machine. Naturally, I'm paying for everything out of my own pocket. Kurisu and Dara have already started work on the upgrade. Apparently, the conversion of memories into digital data requires software developed at Kurisu's lab in America. She can download that software from their dedicated server, but that's not the only thing we need. There's also some kind of brain-scanning headgear that we're going to have to make ourselves. Incidentally, I have to pay extra close attention to make sure Mayuri doesn't wander off while we're shopping. If she sees some random store that interests her, she'll literally stop and stare at it for hours. I keep walking, of course, and only later realize that she's not behind me. Then I have to run from the store to look for her. This must be how parents of small children feel.
頼むから俺についてこい。この迷宮ではぐれたら、おそらくお前は自力では外に出られないぞ。
わかった。気をつけるね。でね、オカリ、タイムリープとタイムトラベルってどう違うの？
Did she really hear what I just said about not wandering off? Going from Tokyo to Amori by bullet train is over 5,000 yen per person, but the overnight bus is only 5... Ah, never mind. Which do you prefer? I want to cover the traveling expenses, but I don't have that much on hand. I'm staying at a hotel, but I'm not a cell. Mama's pretty strict on money. Not to mention she'd kill me if she knew I was going to see my father, so maybe we should go overnight bus instead. What is this nonsense? Don't forget your duty as a lab man. Besides, Kurisu already explained the difference
タイ
yesterday.
ムトラベルは体ごと時間を飛び越えること。タイムリープは記憶だけが時間を飛び越えることと覚えればいい。
Just memories, no personality or consciousness included, although Kurisu did mention that there was no way to be sure that what might have happened to your consciousness.
あのね、じゃあ D メールとタイムリープだとできることってどう？
D メールは過去へ指示できるだけだった。過去は変わるか。それに過去が変わった場合、変える前の記憶は失われる。世界線が再構成
I
さ
am
れ
the
るから。
exception thanks to the reading
そ
Steiner.
れに対してタイムリープだと、例えば1週間前のお前の頭の中に今のお前の記憶が丸々流れ込んでくることになる。
We won't know for sure if it works until the machine is built.
例えば作りかけのコスを持って1週間前へ行ける？
タイムトラベルならば可能だろうが、タイムリープでは無理だ。2日前に受けたテストの答えを知っている状態でテストの前へ戻ることはできる。だが、
じゃあマユシーの意識は1週間前のマユ？
そういうことだ。
While this conversation has been going on, I've been steadily purchasing items from Kurisu's shopping
物
list.
は持っていけないけど記憶はでもそしたら1週間前のマユ？
上書きされるのではないか？
We haven't tested it though, so there's no way to be sure.
消えちゃうってこと？
消えたとしても、1週間前のお前の記憶と今のお前の記憶は連続し、未来の1週間分の記憶が追加されるという言い方をした方がいい。
じゃあね1週間前のマユシーに記憶を飛ばしたら今のマユ
Mayuri's
シー
asking
の
some pretty
体は
philosophical questions today, but I guess anyone would ask the same.
マユシーが1週間前に記憶をビューンって飛ばしてもオカリンはここにいるんだ。
What happens to me when my memories go
オカリン
bye-bye?
から見ると
抜け殻になっている。いや待て、助手がやろうとしているのは記憶をデータ化して保存する。つまり
Hi
バック
Fukuma,
ア
how
ッ
are
プでしか
you?
ない。
Nothing inside of the
記
brain
憶
is
を全て脳
lost.
から抜き去って
You don't become
そ
an
れをデー
empty
タ化する
shell.
わけではない。
Besides, neither personality nor consciousness is transferred. And hello, arm, how are you?
だから 抜け殻になったり意識が飛んだりすることはないはず。
No, wait, there's another issue
と
here.
いうか1週間前に戻ってまたその1週間を経験してきたマユリがここにいることになるのではないか。
Not that anybody, including me, would be able to tell the difference.
じゃあタイムリープする前の最初の1週間を過ごしたマユシーはタイムリープしてその1週間を繰り返したマユシーに消されちゃうの？
I feel good like James Brown. I mean, if you feel good, then that's good, I guess. Glad you're well. This is getting complicated.
So-
Also, when the heck did she learn how to make such
も
long
う一度やり直す
sentences?
と言うべきだ
That also makes sense on top of
な。そ
that.
っくりそのままトレースすることもできるし全く別の行動を取ることもできる。それと消えた最初の1週間の記憶自体は
じゃあね、じゃあね。
Yeah. The question keeps coming. She's trying hard to understand in her own ditzy
もし
way.
も1週間前に戻ったマユシーが1週間後の今日ラボには来なくて学校のお友達と池袋で遊ぶことにしたらどうなるのかな。今はマユシーはこうしてオカリンとお話ししてるけど
過去が変わり今も変わることになるだろう。こうしてここで俺とお前が話している事実は消滅するはずだ。
それをオカリンは気づかないんだよね。
I'm doing good and things are starting to relax again. Happy to be back. I'm glad things are starting to relax for you. For me, they're just getting the momentum right now. Which is horrible.
ああ、そうだ。
So I'm heading in a different direction than you know.
だとしたらね、なんだ。
俺が
マユシーが
I don't get what she means.
だからクリスチャンは過去を変えたくないって言ってたのかも。
She nods to herself with a bright smile. What do you mean no one's died? What the hell, Okaba? She's so aggressive in her messages.
あ、ねえねえねえ、タイムリープは未来には飛べない？
飛べるかもしれないが
I'm just getting you for the headbutt. Reason I reached that conclusion yesterday. The memories you send override the memories at your destination. If you send your memories 1 week into the future, then the future you will lose 1 week of memories.
俺たちがやろうとしているタイムリープは過去に送ってこそ進化を発揮するのだ。それに過去より未来の方が届かない可能性は高い。
I need to build my points again, huh? Let's go.
過去については思い出すことができるが未来については予測がつかないからな。例えばマユリは未来永劫にわたって同じ電話番号の携帯を持ち続けていると思うか？
My phone number for years. I have my phone number since I was like 14.
わかんないよ。
As I have like the same 2 main emails since I was also like 14.
つまりそういうことだ。それにかつてポケベルが携帯の出現で廃れてしまったように携帯に代わる新たなパーソナル端末が爆発的に流行してしまうかもしれない。
In order for the time leap to succeed, the target you must have a phone whose number you know. As long as that condition is met, there should never be a problem in setting the destination. The real problem is what inside the phone wave, name subject to change, is acting as the lifter. Until we figure that out, we can't reproduce the discharge phenomenon at will. The phone wave, name subject to change, will remain incomplete. On the other hand, if we can figure it out, we'll have an endless source of electrons that, unlike CERN's, need no tuning. I am exhilarated. The phone wave, name subject to change, is evolving by the day. Our invention of the time leap machine will put us light years ahead of CERN. Time travel will finally become a reality. I can't wait to try it out. My soul yearns for the taste of chaos. I barely managed to keep my burst. I barely managed to keep from bursting out in mad laughter. Come to think of it, more than 1 week has passed since we sent the first D-mail, and although there was that strange threatening email, there remains no sign of Men in Black coming to haul us away. According to Daru, Sam hasn't discovered our hacking either. The next problem is what will happen when we use the time leap machine. In order to compress a human's entire wealth of memory into requisite 36 bytes, we have to borrow the LGC's black hole. I can't believe that Surans won't notice an unauthorized activation of the LGC. How do we keep them from finding us? We need a plan.
そっか。じゃあマヨシーが小学生の頃へも飛べないんだね。その頃は
Mayuri's still talking about the time
お
leap.
前は小学生の頃へ戻りたいのか気持ちはわかる
Stop grades and have an easy time bending children to your will. Ah,
学校の成
Okaza!
績を
それにね、おばあちゃんにも
Maybe I could see Grandma again. She is too pure for this world. She's unironically one of the softest and loveliest NPCs. I mean, she kinda is an NPC, right?
そうか残念だったな
Mayuri's grandmother passed away when Mayuri was in elementary school.
残念は残念だけどね、どうしても会いたかったわけじゃないよ。おばあちゃんの言葉とかね、笑顔とか、マユシーの頭を撫でてくれたしわしだからね、わざわざ会わなくても平気なの。それよりもね、その頃のオカリン
I'm just a little Ocarina again.
あの当時からこの俺はマッドサイエンティストとして完成されておりそんなイフのオーラを放つ天才小学生に
I can hardly be blamed for desiring to meet the child prodigy.
おーインキョーマに会いたいというお前の気持ち
会いたいのは
I don't want to meet Ho in what's in his
おばあ
face.
じゃなくてオカリン
She
だよ
could completely shut it down. I am Ho in Kyoma, always have been, always will be. Mayuri just doesn't get it. So I disregard her comment.
だがやめたのか精神年齢を持て当時から全く成長していないお前では仮に今小学生に戻ったところで
Sorry for guessing,
何も変わら
Madbado
んか
Kappa, did you have to say it like that? Jai, what the hell? Sorry for guessing that.
そんなことないよ。マユシン
食べる量が増えたぐらいだろ
And your breast pumps.
そ
Oh.
んなことないのです。マユシーはちゃんと大人の階段を登ろうとしているのです。
A real woman. I kind of wanted to hear the details, but she probably doesn't know what she's talking about.
それよりもね、オカリンの方が当時から止まったままだと。
だから何度も言っているだろう
I was
が
already
この
using
俺
his.
は当時の時点ですでに完成されていたのだとな
The shopkeeper shoots me a glare. I wonder why. I guess this isn't the best place for maniacal laughter. Better get those parts and head back to the lab. Okarin's the one who doesn't get what he's messing with. I know, right? We already established that Mayuri is eternal. She is the god. We finished our shopping and come out in front of the station.
そういえば参るよお前最近バイトをしていないんじゃないか
バイト？ルモアンヌのこと？
Of course, main Queen Nyaehh Square doesn't exist in the current wholesome Akiba.
ねえ、コミマ前だからお休みもらってるんだよ。頑張ってコスを作らなくちゃ。
今年は一体何着作っている
3着。
Ah, right, Luca is the guy that we changed his gender, right?
ルカち
He
ゃん
can now be himself or herself. He always wants this is confusing because of the timelines. He always wanted to be a girl, and she is finally what she always wanted to be. I mean, not in this timeline because they. Yeah, I mean, it could work like this, but we're still having this timeline stuff, right? So we had like the original timeline where Lukako was a boy who always wanted to be a girl, and we have our current timeline where Lukako was always a girl. So there was never this yearning for being a girl, right? I can hardly blame him. I mean, however cute he looks, he's still a guy. He's not. No, wait, that was before we sent it the email. Now Lukako is a girl, I guess. How confusing. Yeah, this would be less confusing if we didn't have the change, like changing the past here.
Nani?
I look where my is pointing and see Moeka squatting by the staircase, staring hard at her cell phone. She looks more tired than the last time I saw her. There are bugs under her eyes and her hair is frayed. The intensity of her expression makes me hesitate to call out to her. She'll probably just ignore me like before. On the other hand, she's a lab member. I can't just ignore her.
そこの指圧師よ。随分と浮かない顔をしているではないか。
トゥットゥルー、モエカさん、ここで何してるの？
Moeka doesn't look up. She mutters something that I can't make out.
おーい、聞いているか？悩みがあるなら、この狂気の
I mean, she's still looking for IBN 5100, right?
もっとも、その場合は、秋葉が血の海となることも覚悟してもらうかな。
Moeka suddenly jerks upright as I've poked with an electric prod. She lifts her head and I skipped. This is the first time I've seen Moeka express such emotion.
なんだ？どうした？
She doesn't speak. That hasn't changed. Instead, she looks down and starts typing on her phone. Because I should be ready for a mail.
どうなったとは
Oh,
どう
do
い
you
う意味
mean
だ？
what happened? Are you still using it? Did you figure out how it works?
まだ完全には解明できていない。今は改良中だ。
How far are you on this story? I'm currently in the chapter 5. Dogma in the event horizon. We've learned that someone or something is close and is observing us. We kind of figured out how the phone wave name subject to change works. We established some new members of the lab. We changed the past quite a few times, including the entire Akiba neighborhood. So I have no idea how far I am right now because to be fair, I have no idea how many chapters we have.
すごいんだよ。あのね、今度はね、タイムリープができるようになるかもしれないんだって。
What's the time leap? Tell me more.
記事にはするなよ。それをしたら、俺はお前をラボ面
Moeka
から
shakes her
破
head
門しなければならない。
violently. Guess she won't write an article.
セルンへのハッキングによって電話レンジカッコ仮の
By the way, he's talking about that on the street, right? Like usual, he just is spilling classified information left and right.
これは人類の歴史を塗り替え新たなる段階へ足を踏み入れたことその人類史上初の偉業を今
オカリン、オカリン。
Lost Mayushi? How can you not be moved by my speech? I'm talking about becoming legends here. Moeka bites her lips and types out email in irritation. Then she grabs my arm and digs in her fingernails. It hurts. But Moeka doesn't listen. What's a time leap?
タイムリープすなわち記憶のみ俺たちはそれを可能にする方法を見つけ出した近いうちに
あのね、オカリンが思いついてクリスちゃんができるって言って
It is helping Mayushi and Akiri are shopping? Mika suddenly releases me. Her eyes are blank, unfocused. She squats down on the spot just as we found her. She seems entirely drained of energy and will.
萌香さん大丈夫？
That's amazing. You made a real breakthrough. Congratulations. When will it be finished?
こればかりも何とも言えないな。いくつか問題を残している。
I mean, the last time she wanted to change the past, right? It was pretty small thing, right? She only wanted to change her phone. Like she wanted to not buy a new phone.
だが解決できなければいつまで経っても完成はしない。すべてをシュタインズゲートによる選択。必ずよ解決の道は開けていると俺は確信している。そして扉が開いた時訪れるのは俺が望む混沌。
For someone who is yearning and longing for the chaos, he got really spooked the moment he realized that his machine might actually cause chaos, right?
オカリンは誰と戦ってるの？
決して表舞台には現れない支配者層に決まっているだろう。
すごいね。でもね、危ないことは
Want
し
to
ち
do
ゃダメだ
anything
からね。
dangerous, okay? Why does Mayuri insist on worrying about me? Oh? Moeka's lips curve into a smile. Okay, that's creepy. She rises to her feet unsteadily, then staggers off into the crowd. It's like she's forgotten about us completely. Mayuri and I can only watch her go. There's an indescribable aura about her that holds us back.
萌香さん、どうしたのかな？
I've known she was kind of strange ever since I met her. But this... Maybe she's an escaped mental patient or something. Not that her insanity can possibly compare to mine. For I desire nothing less than total and absolute chaos.
オカリンまでおかしくなっちゃった。マユシは心配です。
Mayushi looks scared, so I cease my maniacal laughter a few minutes earlier than I planned. He wanted to go on with that for a minute. What? Afterwards, Mayuri and I go our separate ways. She apparently has to deliver a costume to her friend Fubuki. When I return to the lab with my spolls upwards, something surprising, though not too surprising, come to think of it, catches my eye. Kurisu's on the computer. As soon as she notices I've returned, she quickly closes the window on the screen.
ちょっと入ってく。
ここはお前のプライベートな部屋ではない。それに
敵が待ち伏せしてるかもって考えるバカこそどこにいる？
それでクリスティーナ、お前はやるべきことをサボって何を見ていた？
I already know the answer, of course. I caught a glimpse of the screen before she closed it.
調べ物よ。
On what? Looks like she plans to continue this charade. I drop my bags and go to the computer. I slip past Kurisu blocking arms and restore the minimized window. Yeah, she's an ad channeler.
なんか文句ある。
I wonder what her name there is and if we argued with her before.
おい、そのこれはひどい、はいはいワルスワルスみたいな笑い方はなんだ？
案ずるなクリスティーナ。いや、アットチャンネラークリス。
その呼び方はやめて。
I think she prefers Celeb 17 now.
俺はすでに気づいていた。そう、とっくに気づいていたのだよ。お前が生粋のアットチャンネラーだということにな。 隠そうとしても俺にはわかる。お前からはアットチャンネラーとしての匂いのようなものがプンプンと醸し出されていた。
You feel she looks so unamused.
ちゃんと毎日香りがきつくない香水つけてるぞ。
バカ。そういう意味ではない。俺が言っているのは魂レベルの話だ。
魂って具体的に。
今後バレないための参考にするのだな。
うるさい。いいから聞かせろ。
具体的もクソもない。お前はたまにアットチャンネル用語をつぶやく時がある。
うつだ。
今のもアットチャンネル語だな。まさに魂レベルで染みついているということだろう。そしてこのラボにはもう一人。
そうそう、橋田がいるせいで私まで引きずられちゃ。
だが隠そうとするとはいじらしいな。あと
そのなって呼ぶな。
She glares at me hard. If looks could kill. She has no sense of humor at all. I should be more careful in the
しかし
future.
ゲセないな。アメリカ育ちなのになぜアットチャンネルに詳しいのだ。
アメリカからでもアットちゃんは見られる。
そういうことか。
I get it. Living in an English-only environment made you hungry for Japanese, but did you have to resort to ad channel? I mean, if you believed the pseudo-intellectuals in the media, browsing app channel is like reading scribbles in the bathroom wall.
ギスギスはしてるけど、一番日本の空気みたいなものが感じられる場所だ。それより。
Anyway, can I ask a favor?
頼む。
Chris turns away and mumbles something, but her voice is so low I can't make it out.
言いたいことははっきり言え。
このことは
Chris's face turns
みん
bright
なには
red.
内緒にしといて。
そんなにも知られたくないのか。ダルはお前の同類だし、マユリもオタだからアットチャンネルへの理解は深い。恥ずべきことは何もない。履歴書やプロフィールの趣味の欄には堂々とアットチャンネルを見ることと書くがいい。
かけるかバカ。
何ということは VIP でアンカーを出すことの方がいい。
言葉の意味を理解できる自分が憎い。
まあいい。タイムリープマシンの開発に集中してもらうためにもこの件は黙っておく。
心配には及ばない。大学じゃ周囲はみんな年上だった。研究室じゃ一番の若造なのに処世術には長けてるのよ。甘く見ないで。
ヌルポ。
しまった。
Kuchi's face gets even redder, and then she falls to her hands and knees and defeat Orth. Just as I thought, ad channel is in her blood and bones. She doesn't have a prayer. As nightfall, we tried to activate the phone wave, name subject to change again, but as expected, the discharge did not occur. Mayuri is at her sewing machine, putting some finishing touches on a costume. She's got back earlier this evening, even after delivering a different costume to her friend Fubuki-chan. She's been working on this costume ever since. Come to think of it, she usually heads home around 7 or 8, but today she's still hard at work.
マユリ、あまり遅くならないうちに帰れ。
大丈夫だよ。
He's never done that before.
お父さんとお母さんにもね。
止まって作業をしていくのか。
そうでもしないとゴミ間に間に合わないんだ。
よく親が許可したな。
I've met her parents any number of times. They're as ditzy as Mayuri. But still, I don't think they'd appreciate their underage daughter staying overnight in this dirty lab.
やはりこの俺。
It must be my overwhelming charisma.
だな。そうか。マユリの親はこの俺のイフでやむを得ず娘を人質に。
通報しました。
Clarissa calls out from the development room. She's been tinkering with the phone wave, name subject to change, but I guess she was listening.
って言われたらどうする？
裏切るというのなら俺の右腕が
はいはい、12秒12秒。
クリスちゃんも一緒だからって説明したら、
それってつまり私も泊まれっ
So I have to
て
say
いうこ
too.
だってね、電話レンジちゃん。
まあ
The only person here
こ
taking
のラボに
hostage
泊
is
まる
Mayuri.
と気がめいるのよね。主に誰かさんのせいで。
環境というのは大事な要素だ、クリスティン。ここは研究に、それに聞いて驚くな。このラボには
System that stimulates brain
つまり
function.
この俺の天才的かつ大胆かつ繊細な発明に対する着想を
脳内物質を活性化させるシステムって、あんた一体。
工場排水のごとき言い方をするな。
マユシ知ってるよ。きっとあれじゃないかな。
Kurishi comes out of the development room to check what Mayuri is pointing at.
これって
And
頭の良くなる芳香剤なんだって。秋葉。
半年ほど前だな。値段
岡部の話って
what did you get?
本
Faris?
当に信じ
Is
るに値
Mayushi
しないわ
okay?
ね。
Tell her to have fun at Komima for me. I don't think I can go this year, Nyan. I just don't have the energy, Nyan. I'm completely burned out. I can hear a voice shouting, "Get up, Joe, Nyan. Someone save me. The world is collapsing." What? What happened? Is the organization attacking? What a... She changed her, like, completely. She was so energetic the last time we spoke with her, right? That's a catchy jingle, yeah. It is.
しかもこれ中の薬剤はもう空っぽになってるし。
Yeah, when I went to buy replacement packs, they had already stopped selling
まあいい
them.
わ。どっちにしろ私も泊まるつもりだったし。
本当？よかった。
ただし岡部は出ていくこと。
出ていけだと。俺はここに住んでいるようなものなのだぞ。
女子2人が泊まるって言ってるんだから、無才男子は自重してくれないと。それに
オカリンはね、
I
マユシと
think it's gonna
池
be like
袋
the
だよ。
first time in months since Okabe is gonna go back home. His parents will be so surprised.
電車で30分もかからないじゃない。どうせ今日は徹夜で手伝ってもらうほどのことはないんだ。
だが断る。
まさか私たちを襲うつもり
Planning
か？
to molest.
黙れ。全部
残ってない。あのな、前にもそれ言われたが。
年下の女子2人だけをここに残していけるほど。
Minors need
俺は
guardians.
オカリンも
あと1年半もしないうちに成人だ。それはつまり。
いや、それはつまり未成年だろ。
クリスちゃん、クリスちゃん。だってね、マユシはもう10年以上の付き合い。
でも人質にされたことはあるん
He
です。
hostage didn't he?
っていうかね、
I'm still his hostage.
強制体質だ。
I silently even place a hand on my
あま
forehead.
り俺を失望させるな。科学研究の世界に男も女もない。そうだろう。このラボ
You and your Mongolians
神
spoke
聖な
to
る
me.
研究の場なのだ。
Like that was
そのよう
enough
な
to
下世話な
convince
話題をしたい
Kurisu.
のなら。お
She
前
gives
こそ
me a
今
fine,
すぐ
fine
出て
gesture
い
and
く
she
がいい。
returns to the
そう
development
か
room.
やはりクリスティーナの伝部には猛虎犯が。
ね
Oh,
えよ。
he's dead. He is so dead right now. After working on phone wave, name subject to change for about an hour, I head to a convenience store to buy dinner. Letter hasn't shown his face at all today. He must be busy with that part-time job. I still don't know what he's doing exactly. Probably something that utilizes super haka skills. I just hope he steers clear of the law. While walking, I skim At channel on my phone. Titor hasn't shown up lately. I think it's been a week since his last appearance. I've been reluctant to contact him ever since he called me the Messiah in his last email. That was about the same time he stopped posting. Now At channel denizens are busy slandering Titor. The majority opinion is that he ran away. I wonder where Titor went. I tried emailing him the other day, but he hasn't replied. His disappearance is especially worrying now that I think he might be Suzuha's dad. I need to contact him somehow. Just then, a mail arrives. No sender name, the address is the one I've seen once before. You know too much. Attachments? It feels as if a cold hand stroked my spine. I hug myself, shuddering at the sight. I delete the email immediately. It's happening again. This is bad. Really bad. This is a threat. Was it sent by the organization? By CERN? Does CERN know what we've been doing? Should I report it to the police? Wait, I can't. I just deleted it. And in any case, a picture alone probably isn't enough to get the police involved. Still, maybe I should talk to someone, but who? Not the girls. I can't worry them with this. I'm the adult here after all. What about Moeka? No, she may be a labman, but she's been acting weird lately. Even if I tell her about this, she won't be any use. Suzuha? Has her father to worry about. I guess that leaves Daru. I need to find out whether CERN has discovered their hacking. What would CERN do if they find out, I wonder? They wouldn't have us killed, would they? Despite my efforts to convince myself that this is just a prank, my feet hurry me back to the lab. I burst into the lab, gasping for air, and quickly locked the door behind me. Finally, I catch my breath again, but just then I realize that something's wrong. Mayuri and Kurisu aren't here. Did they go home? No, their bags are still here. The lights are still on. The door... When I entered just now, it was unlocked. Would they be so careless? The memory of that threatening mail fills me with fear. Don't tell me, were they kidnapped? Who took them? The organization? CERN? And then I hear a noise. Is that a shower? The lab has a shower inside the dressing room. There's no bath, we can't afford such luxuries, and it's too small to fit more than one person inside. Now I hear the sound of water running. I recall the famous scene from Hitchcock's Psycho. No. Fresh blood mixing into the water flowing down the drain. The corpses of two girls are sprawled out naked on the tile. The second those images flash through my head, I slam open the door to shower room. He's gonna get smacked. Okay, thank you. That is actually very, very helpful. Through the steam, I see the wet, naked bodies of the two girls. Mayuri squats down while Kurisu bashfully twists her body, trying desperately to hide her unmentionables. Are their faces red because of the heat, or... I wipe the cold sweat off my brow and sigh deeply. Kurisu shoots me a deadly glare. This is so sad, actually. Like, he unironically was worried about them. There was nothing sexual in, like, the whole scene. But they just thought that he's a pervert. I dodge a bar of soap aimed at my face, then quickly flee the dressing room. Well, I suppose that was all my fault. I complained in Turkey. Damn it was just a small misunderstanding. I mean, why the hell did they decide to take a shower together when they knew I was coming right back? It's like they wanted to be seen. Kurisu especially. After all that talk about not wanting to spend the night with me around, she sure dropped her guard awfully fast. They're just lucky it was me who walked in on them. What if it had been the organization? What if it... No. Let's ask the real question. What if it would have been Daru? That would be freaking tragic, right? He would never shut up about it. He would forever speak about it. He would mention it every single time. His life would be complete. By the way, I didn't see a Mongolian spot on Kurisu's butt, naturally. I mean, she was not showing her butt. Anyway, how much longer are they going to shower? Looking at the clock, it's already been more than 15 minutes since I got back. They were yelling at me a few minutes ago, but now I hear laughter and happy squeals coming from the shower room. Sounds like they're having a good time. They get along almost like sisters. Whoa, Chris-chan, you're so slim! But Mayuri, your breasts are so big, I'm jealous. They're checking each other out, aren't they? In my head, I call up the memory of what I saw in the shower. Wet hair, beads of water glistening on their soapy skin, round, full treasures hidden by conveniently placed steam. I put my phone to my ear. I'm under attack from the Mongolian spot and the Ditty sisters. They're going directly after my sanity.
最大級の攻撃力だ。
I don't think my pants can take it.
少女たちを倒せだと。そんなことができるものか。どうしてもか。どうしても。俺は
I
彼女た
raise
ち
my hand against my closest companions, not like this.
臭い。
After a moment to collect myself, I put away my phone. I need some air. 2 days have passed since Kurisu and Mayuri came to stay. During that time, Daru and I have done our best to support Kurisu's work on the phone wave, name subject to change. According to Daru, it should be easy to use the LGC to generate black holes for our use. The black holes from at the proton collision point where the lifter is installed, and they exist for only a few seconds before evaporating. During those few seconds, CERN throws a human into the singularity. We'll use those few seconds too. The gravity of the black hole compresses matter to infinite density. CERN uses the lifter to keep the compression under control, but we don't want that. We're going to dial CERN's lifter down. Not so much that it endangers the world, of course, but enough to compress our memory data to under 36 bytes. Daru has been coding the necessary program, and as for me, I've been searching for our lifter, the unknown device that pumps electrons into the phone wave and keeps our black holes open. Kurisu couldn't find anything that could serve as a lifter inside the microwave, so it must be something on the outside. We're not sure what that could be, and so far we have no idea where to start looking. Yesterday I consulted Daru about that threatening mail, but Daru insisted that there's no way CERN could have discovered his hacking yet. Of course I had him make doubly sure we hadn't been tracked. His tests came back clean. I understand he's confident in his skills and I trust him. If Daru says they haven't found out, then they haven't. But somehow, knowing that does not ease my anxiety. It's Friday, and although we still haven't solved the lifter problem, Kurisu is just about done with the time wave machine. Naturally, that means it's time for her to give me something else to worry about. Lukako, have you gone to any festivals or fireworks shows this summer? Maybe you have plans to go with Mayuri-chan later. P.S. I did 22 practice swings with Samidara. Let's go, Lukako. I groan. In other words, we have to cause the electrical discharge phenomenon. There's a risk involved. A risk called Mr. Brown. As we know, the discharge phenomenon causes the entire building to shake. Last time, Mr. Brown threatened to raise our rent if it happened again. Kurisu and Daru look at me.
Okarin, あとは任せた。
We're gonna do the testing in a bit. I need a small break, so I'll be right back. We're gonna go for 1 more hour and then I will call it a day. And we'll be continuing with it tomorrow. But we still have 1 more hour to go. Thank you for the head up.
フォローお願い。
つまり
Just leaving me to die.
あんたの犠牲があって初めてタイムリープ用電話レンジ。
それにこれまでも店長のご機嫌取りに行ってたのはオカリンだったじゃん。
ならばなおさらたまにはお前たちが。
私は無理。あの店長さん以前にバイトから目の敵。
いいだろう。だが忘れるな。俺は絶対に死なん。不死鳥のごとく何度でも蘇るぞ。
With that said, I head down to handle things with Mr. Brown.
おかりんやだよ。
As I pass through the lounge, Mayuri looks up from her costume to see me off. When I step into the store, Mr. Brown, Suzuha, and the Chipmunk are watching some comedy show on the massive 42-inch CRT. Watching TV at noon without a customer inside looks like business as usual at the Brown's cheap workshop.
おーす、岡部倫太郎。
I raise my hand in response to Suzuha's greeting. My life has no meaning. It's all gone now. No one will look at me, not anymore. What can I do? Even if I shout, no one can hear. My voice can't reach the one most important to me. I walk along through dusty grey streets. forever pounded by lukewarm rain. Such is the fate of the defeated. Still, Faris is here. Someone find me. What is wrong with her? The chipmunk, Nyaehh, quickly hides behind her father when she
この
sees me.
店は相変わらず繁盛していないようですね。
おう、岡部か。ブラウン管買ってけ。
Why is CRT?
いりません。俺は解雇中ではないのでね。買うなら液晶テレビを
I
買いま
look
す。
around the store as I answer. Hey, I thought of something. Like Stern's Large Hadron Collider, the phone wave must have done some kind of electron feed to keep the black hole open. CERN calls this feed the lifter. We still haven't figured out what that is, nor what could be acting as a substitute lifter in our time machine. What if our lifter is somewhere in this shop? Whatever it is, it must be in close proximity to the phone wave. It couldn't work otherwise, and the brown tube workshop is located directly below the lab. Could our lifter be a CRT?
てめえ、最近女ばっか連れ込んで。
ばっかと言っても
私もこの前。
たまには俺も呼べ。若い娘と話。
Invite me next time. I want to talk to some young girls for a change.
お父さん。
違うぞない。
It's marketing.
社会勉強であり。
Check out the scary looking guy trying desperately to explain himself to his daughter. Hilarious.
そもそもさ、店長の言い草じゃまるで。
若くはない。
You're not young.
なに？岡部。
事実だ。
Only the
なん
truth.
でお父さんがお前さえいれば幸せな。
うん、わかってるよ。でも、
もちろん約束するさ。
Then he joins Pinkies with his daughter. Down, Mr. Brown, you're way off character. How does a girl like him produce a daughter like that? Nyaehh is one of the kindest, gentlest girls I've ever met. I don't know why she's so afraid of me, though. Anyway, I came here to explain that the building's about to shake. How do I avoid having my head ripped off? What more? The question thinks the building can happen. No, that's way too obvious. An earthquake's coming. My magic eye reading Steiner has seen it in the future. Escape while you still can. Yeah, that might work.
ね
Her dad felt her to be wary of weirdos. I think so.
うん。
ってことは、マキセ・クリスも。
うん。二人とも。
そっか。
This has a story to what Crusoe hasn't
お
debated.
前の方はどうだ。
どうだって？
少しは元気が出たのか。
ああ、うん。
ああ、おいバイト。
私、父さんを探してるんだって。
ああ、その話か。岡部。
Why does he think he can boss me around?
無論だ。鈴葉はすでにラボメンとなっているのだから。
Suzuha looks at me with a smile that shines through the gloom filling the store.
岡部倫太郎って私と同い年なのにすごく年上って感じだな。なん
The
か
first time anyone said that to me, it makes me kinda happy. That chipmunk covers in terror as I unveil my madness. I can see tears pooling in her eyes. I guess my aura is just too powerful for a grade school girl to endure.
岡部。
Now I'm
も
dead.
し次
Ain't no way I can tell him now that the building is about to shake without having my head ripped off.
すみません。
でもさ、
That takes my arm and leads me away from the Tenojis, who have gone back to watching
こ
TV.
れだけは忠告しとくけど、マキセ・クリスには留意して。
留意。
Circumspect? Why can't she just say careful like a normal person? Not that I'm the one to talk.
またか。ただの
Suzuha
逆
shakes her
恨みだ
head
ろ。
firmly.
違う。これは事実。私はそれを存知している。
Her Nishoseness. Is she saying Kurisu's dangerous? There's something strange about the way Suzuha is talking, and it's not just her fondness for uncommon words. There's something else, something...
あの女の頭脳は危険すぎ。それに、結局あいつ、実験のことしか考えてないんだ。
Suzuha's eyes are hard and her voice is as cold as ice. I can tell that she means every word she
君たち
says.
は利用されてるだけだよ。あの女は セルに通じてる。
No, that's impossible. CERN is our enemy. If Data's hacking is discovered, I have no doubt they will do everything in their power to destroy us. How can Kurisu be connected to
つ
CERN?
まりスパイだと言いたいのか。
Suzuha nods
タイム
firmly.
マシン開発の功績もあの女のものになった。
Again, Suzuha's words sound strange to my ears, but I still can't place my finger on why.
だからさ、気を許しちゃダメ。
I don't believe it. I saw Kurisu's anger when she learned what CERN had been doing. She called their actions a betrayal of scientists everywhere. How can someone with such a pure love of science be connected to CERN? But if what Suzuha says is true, could she be the one who sent that threatening email? I suspected Moeka, but... Suddenly the ground starts to shake. Kurisu started the experiment, but I haven't talked to Mr. Brown yet.
おい、こら岡部。
Sure enough, veins on Mr. Brown's forehead swell in response to the shaking.
揺らすなって何度言ったらわかんだ。若い娘だろうが俺は容赦しねえぞ。
Your rent is going up.
待ってくださいミスターブラウン。これは我がラボの仕業ではなく自信。
自信だ。そんなごまかしが通用すると思ってるのか。
The shaking gets more intense, knocking over a CRT.
ブラウンカッチャーな。
Crap, I can't talk my way out of this one.
てめえ、岡部。
Mr. Brown clearly wants to snap my neck like a twig, but he elects to protect his greatest treasure, the 42-inch CRT instead. Not even his daughter. Not even his daughter, but the CRT. This is where we are. He grabs the remote and switches it off, then grabs hold of the TV and hangs on for dear life.
収まった？
みたいだな。
Wait, it's over? I carefully step through the rubble and take the remote from the dazed Mr. Brown hand. I press the red power button. The 42-inch CRT instantly comes to life. I stare at the image on the screen and smile.
どうしたの？
見つけた。ついに見つけたぞ。これほどわかりやすいのになぜ気づかない。いや、今この瞬間に気づいたことこそが。
おい岡部、何笑ってやがる。
I'm raising your
う
hand.
ちの娘を怖がらせるな。
Part of
少し
CRT.
静かにしていただきましょうか、ミスター・ブラウン。今まさに。
Stars explode behind my eyes as Mr. Brown drives his fist into the top of my head. The world spins. I struggle to get a hold of my shaken brain.
ああ
It's on my tab. He changed his mind quickly. With that, I fly out of the workshop. I rub my head. It hurts like hell. Damn, what that Mr. Brown? Did he really have to crack me so hard? Maybe I should report him for an assault. Thanks to his brutality, I had to make a strategic retreat. Fortunately, I did not emerge empty-handed. The extra 10,000 yen a month will hurt, but in exchange I have acquired information essential to the success of my
結
plan.
果オーライだな。
おかりー。今揺れたけど。
Mayuri and Kurisa appear in the second story window.
本当に不死鳥のごとく復活して。
クリスティーナ。
You will be on your knees praising my greatness?
それはないと思う。
I run up the stairs.
なんでそんなわかりやすいことに今まで気づか
When
な
I
かっ
tell
た。
Kurisa about the 42-inch CRT downstairs, that is her first
なぜ
reaction.
俺は責められているのか。
責めてるんじゃない。私も含めて誰も気づけなかったまぬ。
東大元暮らしはガチ。
整理すると、さっき2階で電話レンジカッコ仮を稼働させ、だがテレビを消すと、それに同期するようにして、
放電現象は途中で強制的。念のためにバナナを入れておいたんだけど、ゼリーマンにはならない。
それはね、いいことだと思う。
We shouldn't waste food.
食べ物
Nobody
を
replies to Mayuri's off-point statement. We're busy reading about cathode ray tubes on the internet. It doesn't take long before we find something interesting. A cathode ray tube has a component called an electron gun, which uses extreme heat and strong electric field to accelerate electrons and turn them into a beam. The electron beam striking the TV screen phosphor layer is what generates the picture. An electron gun could certainly work as a lifter.
解は出たわね。42型ブラウン管が放出している電子が放電現象はその影響よ。
夜になると電話レンジが使えなくなったのはブラウン管工房
The
が閉ま
Brown
ってる
Tube
時
workshop
間だ
doesn't
っ
have
たからか。
especially strict business hours, but it's usually open from around 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That matches up perfectly with my observation that the phone wave only works between noon and 6 p.m. The few instances it hasn't worked during the time frame can be explained by the TV being off.
だがブラウン管がそんなに強力な電子を放出している。
電子量は強ければいいというわけじゃない。そんな単純な問題なら
I
セ
see.
ルンはとっく
So
に
it
問
can't be
題
too
を
strong
解
or
決してい
too
る。
weak. By freak coincidence, the 42-inch CRT electron gun appears to have exactly the right level of electron discharge. That's the only explanation.
まさに偶然の一致よ。ここには奇跡的に。
いや違うなクリスティーナ。全ては
Where's the
シ
choice
ュ
of
タインズゲ
Steins
ートの
Gate?
選択だ。
Rather than glare at me, she has so many times in the past, Kurisu shoots me an exasperated smile.
別になんだって。
Mayuri looks up from her costume with a question in her eyes.
つまりね、スーパー電話レンジちゃんを完成させ。
原因が究明できたなら恐れることはあの大きなブラウン管がついているときタイムリープは可能になる。
さっき中断された
Chat rules are
最終調整
insane,
も
but
含め
was
て
up?
さ、
Came
もう
from
一
next
回は
channel,
実
got
験が
bored
必
and
要じゃ
scrolled.
ね？
What do you mean chat rules are insane? I think they're pretty decent.
そうね。岡部、
Oh, thank you for the follow.
なんだ。
もう
I'm
一度
Nyaehh and I
下に行って
really
I know
like
Brown
storytelling
Cow
games, and currently I'm stuck in Steins Gate visual novels. Although I wouldn't call it stuck, I actually enjoyed it quite a lot.
クリスティーナよ。それは実に面白い冗談だな。ミッションエンポッシブルだ。
I'm not going back down there. My head still hurts from last time. Next time, I doubt I'll make it out alive.
いいからさっさと行きなさいよ。
Kurisu orders me with a sour look. It's like I'm the assistant
あ
here.
んたならできるって。さっきだってすごい発見してきたでしょ。
I mean, they could send Mayuri, right?
常習よ。お前、この俺を偉大なマッドサイエンティストだと認めているか？
いいえ。
あ、
グホー即答。
しまった。
I was supposed to flatter him so he'd feel like
は
going.
い。というわけで、はい。
遅い
I
わ。
shall have to wash her mouth after saying that.
リフターの代替装置が見つかった今、タイムリープマシンは 99% 出来上がってる。
Kurisu's expression suddenly turns serious, but I can see the hunger in her eyes and the flush of excitement on her cheeks. She knows that we stand on the threshold of a new age in science, and she cannot resist the lure of the unknown. She's a true scientist, no doubt about
こ
it.
のラボの夢でしょ、タイムマシンは。
Our dream. I've never really thought about it that way. But she's right, my hands are shaking. Not from fear of Mr. Brown, but from
こ
excitement.
の俺の夢は時空を意のままに操り、これまでの支配構造をぶち壊す。
岡部。
Chris
私は
interrupts my
法王院じゃなく
speech.
て、岡部の意見が聞きたい。
Oh, thank you for the sub, El Girachino. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Oh, it's a prime. Thank you. Highly appreciated. She spurs me with her gaze. I meet it head on. Oh, he got balls. After a few moments, I feel my mouth curve into a smile.
上等だ。すべて
With that, I head downstairs. A cracked skull and an empty wallet are a small price to pay for science. Kurisu and Daru send me off with applause for some reason. Mayuri is the only one who looks worried, but I pat her head in reassurance. When I get downstairs, Suzuha and the chipmunk are sitting side by side on the bench outside.
リース。
Nyaehh gives me a quick bow and then hides behind Suzuha. Is that gonna be— oh, that's Lukako. I see. It's true festivals are very crowded. I was hoping I might run into you at one, but I guess the chances of that were pretty slim to begin with. it's not like I go to every festival. Please don't misunderstand. P.S. I only did 5 practice swings with Samidara. I mean, it's still better than it was in the previous timeline where Lukaku never had time to practice with Samidara.
店長、さっきのでめちゃくちゃ機嫌悪くなっちゃってさ。
And they are waiting it out. Damn, now I really don't want to go in there.
さっき思いっきりごっちんされてたけど、大丈夫？
この俺の世界遺産級の価値がある。
My brain is more valuable than the Mona Lisa.
殴るとはな。
それは惜しい人を亡くしたな。
Suzuha clasps her hands in a solemn prayer. I like Suzuha in a way. I also dislike her a lot. I have very ambivalent feelings about her. I'm not dead, just my brain
ごめん
cells.
なさい。お父さんがひどい
What do you mean Daddy did something bad? I can't believe she's Mr. Brown's daughter.
アンゼルマン。俺も店長には迷惑をかけたし。
Nyaehh smiles slightly at my words of
時にバカ
comfort.
選手。お前にミスター・ブラウンの命を5秒でいいから引きつけておいてもらいたい。
Suzuha's eyes start to shine.
色仕掛けだね。
Seduce him. She flexes her bicep for some reason.
触ってみ。
She insists I poke it. It's just as hard as her confidence suggests. She's probably stronger than me, but I don't understand what flexing has to do with
誰
seduction.
も色仕掛けをしろとは言っていない。
それぐらいできなきゃ戦士失格だし。それにさ。
なるほど。
大きいジャンキー、鈴葉お姉ちゃん。
Don't be mean to Daddy.
いじめ。
いかに。
I wanted to complain that he's the one being mean, but I just said we were even, so I refrained.
苗はここで待ってて。
The chipmunk nods. When we enter the store, we find Mr. Brown cleaning up the pieces of the broken CRT. When our eyes meet, another vein pops on his forehead.
筋を通しに来たのなら聞いてやる。
先ほどは失礼しました。そこで謝罪の意も込めて我がラボを代表し、ここ。
店長、刮目せ
With a vigorous shot, which in no way seems appropriate for seduction, Suzuha whips off her jacket and... What? Throws it into Mr. Brown's face. I can see her bra. No, wait, that's not a bra, but the tight tank top that leaves her midriff bare. Yet Suzuha shows no sign of embarrassment as she rushes Mr. Brown. She slips behind him, grabs her coat, and pulls it tight against his face.
岡部倫太郎、今だ。
Now, wait just a second. Is this your idea of seduction? It looks like you're trying to suffocate him. Mr. Brown flails his arms, trying to escape Suzuha's restraint. There is a huge difference in strength between the two. It's only a matter of time before he shakes Suzuha off.
よくやった選手よ。
Your
お前の英
efforts
雄
will be
に本当に感謝する
remembered. Hi, Kai. Realizing that the only choice is to go for it, I dash to the counter, grab the remote, and switch on the 42-inch CRT. Begin to run. After about 2 seconds, an image appears on the giant screen. At the same time, the ceiling starts shaking. Kurisu activated the phone away with a perfect timing.
また揺れてる。岡部倫太郎、これって。
Did she really take off her clothes without knowing why?
バイト選手。できればあと10秒ほど。
I'm restrained for 10 more seconds. During the time I escaped from the store. Outside, Nyaehh is following earthquake drill procedure, crouching while protecting her head. I ignore that and look up to the second floor. But a second later, she blusters me a glare and disappears inside of it as if nothing happened, so Kurisu looked up from the window. What's with her attitude? I'm risking my life here. In any case, the experiment proceeded. The 42-inch CRT was the key, as I suspected. Now, how do I explain this to Mr. Brown? I don't want him to kick us out of the building. Perhaps I shouldn't have left it to Suzuha. I timidly peek into the store to gauge this situation.
ちょっと店長、私の服返してよ。
Suzuha is there, fidgeting in her tank top as Mr. Brown glares down at
う
her.
るせえ。
I'm confiscating this.
この変態。
変態はおめえだろうが。 いきなり脱ぎ出したと思ったら
It's pretty kinky. Gotta remember to thank a cab after I kill him.
プレイとか言わないでくんないかな。
とにかく今日は一日その格好で仕事しやがれ。へそだし。
Use that flat tummy of yours to track.
なんなら
前に言いつけるよ。
はは
そう。
No problems here. So has the seduction strategy work? I guess. Mr. Brown, what a guy. A little while later, I'm lying on the sofa watching high school baseball. Kumamoto and Aichi are locked in a fierce struggle for the playoffs. Just then, the clack-clack of the sewing machine in the lounge suddenly stops.
おかりおかり。ちょっと来て。
She motions to me while holding the costume. What does she want? I walk over to her.
これをね、持っててくれないかな。こう。
まゆし、今のビローンも
ビロ
ビローンいただきました。
もうやだこの変態。
I follow Mayuri's direction and spread the costume out by the sleeves. She inspects it from a few paces away. It's hard to believe given her unusual ditziness, but Mayuri is very serious about her art. That's why cosplayers value her costume so highly. The costume I'm holding now is a custom made for Lukako. I thought Lukako was against it, but I guess Mayuri managed to persuade her.
ー。ありがとう。
Mayuri looks tired. She's been working all night. But that doesn't dim the brightness of her satisfied smile.
完成か？
クリスちゃんよりさ。
負けたわ、まゆり。お見事ね。
The assistant. She treats me and Dadaru like garbage, but Mayuri gets this sisterly touch.
こっちももう終わりよ。
Ah? Kurisu connects the two cords she's holding.
完成。
Celebration is in order. The power of Fissure K. But nobody cheers.
言い訳だね。
疲れた
Honestly, I don't feel like cheering either, and it's not because I'm tired. We worked around the clock for 3 days straight to finish the time leap machine, but now that it's complete, I realized that the part of me never truly believed it would happen. I feel my enthusiasm cooling rapidly, the fire quenched by one stark question. What do we do with it? I look at Kurisu. She too seems conflicted.
ひょっとするととんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。
I look at the improved phone wave name subject to change again. The biggest change is the headgear attached to the68000. It looks like something out of a low-budget cyberpunk movie. Fortunately, we don't have nerve jacks or brain chips for it to work. You just put it on and let the sensors do the
とりあえず
rest.
正式名称を決めようではないか。Heavenly Express。
Heavenly Express.
電話レンジサードエディションバージョン 1.00。
帽子付き電話レン
So we had phone wave chat. No
あんた
consensus.
たちって本当に能天気ね。
クリスティーナは危険か？
タイムリー。
これはひどい。
何よ、シンプルイズベストでしょ。
So look, I've been calling it for the past 2 days.
助手はネーミングセンスゼロのようだ。
中二病丸出しのあんたに言われたくない。
おお、まさかマキセ氏が中二病って言葉を知ってるとは。
たまたまだから勘違いしな
A
いで。
bold-faced lie. She should just confess to being an ad channeler. Kurisu meets my green with an icy glare.
最終決定権者として
Seeing her struggle like that is kinda comforting. Whenever the lab is divided on a name, the right to decide belongs to Mayuri.
タイムリープマシーンがいいと思う。帽子付き電話レンジちゃんとね。
マユ氏のことだからそうなると。
だから言ったでしょ。シンプルイズ。
I wanted to object, but it's an unwritten rule not to complain once Mayuri's made a decision.
では助手全員にわかるように
I know the basics, but I want to hear details. Kurisu nods and stands in front of the whiteboard.
一言で言うと、これは記憶をデータ化してリング得意電話レンジには偶然にもタイターが語ったタイムマシンとほぼ同じ機能が備えリング得意点を生み出し そのトンネルを通って過去へと36バイト局所ばして、つまり過去のどこへ到達するかについては携帯電話に限定することでクリアした。 D メールと違って今回は電話をかける形にしたから、メールアドレスじゃなくて電話番号によって局所場指定することになる。生み出されたリング特異点の超重力を安定させ裸にするための電子注入装置リフターの役割は開花の42型ブラウン管がそれを担ってる。
She explained the basics. Next, she explained the modification she made to turn the phone awakening subject to a change into a time leap machine.
電話レンジには新たにヘッドギアを接続した。これによって側頭葉、正確に言うと海馬の CA3 に蓄積されている記憶の神経パルスパターンを、その解析データは VR 技術を用いて神経パルス信号から電気信号へとエンコード。
データ容量はおよそ 3.24 テラだお。
3.24 terabytes. It's less than I expected. We're talking about the entirety of person's memories.
ちなみにこのデータにはあらかじめ次元式のデコードプログラムを仕掛けておく。これはプログラムに詳しい人なら誰でもできるものよ。橋田にプログラムを作っても、この電気信号データをネットを通してフランスにあるセルンの LHC へと転送。
This building has a direct line to CERN for some reason, so we can transfer data at insanely high speeds.
3.24テラのデータを転送するの。
直通回線は1本だけじゃなくて64本が束にな、だいたい45秒ぐらいでいけると思われ。
That's pretty fast.
LHC を遠隔操作してミニブラックホールを作ったら、その周辺で生み出される超重力による無限圧縮を利用して
That's one
データ
hell
を
of a
圧
squeeze.
縮にも時間がかかるのか。
こっちは一瞬、何しろブラックホールの力使ってるからだいたい23ミリ秒でいける。
ちなみにバイナリデータの超圧縮は
It's
ミ
in
ニ
the
ブラッ
left
クホール
side.
周辺で
Oh,
のみ
it's
に
actually here.
そこから離れ
Also,
た時点で
her,
データが勝手に
her
回答を始めてしまう。
handwriting is really, really nice. I wish my
回答までに
handwriting
か
was
かる時
nice.
間
My
も
handwriting is
圧縮時と
horrible.
同じ23ミリ秒。
その間に LHC からこのペケロッパを経由して電話レンジまで戻さないといけない。ま、36バイトプラスアルファ程度のデータなら
クリスティーナ、続けろ。
タイムリープマシン側では起動と同時にカーブラックホール効果が発生。リング特異点内を通り抜けさせる。この辺は電話レンジとやる。データはタイマーに入力しておいた時間分を遡り、過去リング特異点を通り抜けて過去の携帯電話に到達する頃には回答と同時にデコードプログラムが展開して、で受信先の携帯電話に到達すると神経パルス信号は送話口から 0.02 アンペアほどの微弱な放電現象となって発せられるの。これが携帯電話を耳に当てている
受信者が電話の呼び出しに。
でなければ記憶の転送は失敗に終わる。まあ
メールではなく、
携帯電話が受信者のこめかみ付近にあることでデータを受信者の側頭葉に送り
Indicates
込
the
みや
side
す
of
くな
her
る。
head.
人間のこめかみ周辺には大脳前頭葉と大脳側頭葉がそこに
This
送
one
信
sends
者
out
の全記
electrical
憶の塊、
impulse.
同時に
Okay.
携帯電話からは前頭葉を刺激するし、前頭葉から側頭葉へはトップダウン記憶検索信号、前頭葉を刺激する神経パルスを放送。これによって送信者から送られ未来の記憶を
40
思い出す
seconds
のよ。
for upload, but will the building shake for the 40 seconds, or will we
それに
completely
必要な時間は
delegate it
1
to the
秒に満
outside?
たない。結果受信者は送信者と全く同じ記憶を持つ状態となり、例えば送信者と受信者の時間差が注意すべきなのは、意識や人格は転送しない。
おっぱいに例えて教えてくれ。
Pregnant with boobs. Can someone lock him down?
お
Risa dissolves into a blushing, stammering mess. Looks like it's up to me to answer Daru's questions. Not with boobs,
現
obviously.
在のダルの記憶を、今のダルは
We need to kill
二次元
Daru
にも
once
三次
more.
元にも無機物にも燃えられる変態だが、小学生時代は
小学校時代の僕はそれは真面目なクソガキでしたが、何か
つまり 記憶は今の19歳の変態ダルのものだが、意識、人格は
Suddenly
そ
have
の
all
真面目
your
なクソガキの
perverted
ままだ。
memories. No.
見た目は子供、頭脳は大人な名探偵は成立しない。
なんだつまらん。
This isn't like the time leaping you see in science fiction novels. We aren't yet capable of transferring personality and consciousness.
携帯がブラックホールとホワイトホールのような。注意すべきなのは、送信者と受信者は同一人物でなけ。例えば過去の自分ではなく、親や友達が代わりに出てしまった。
Oh, that would be awful.
親や友達の体に送信者の記憶が上書きされてしまう。下手をすると
Kurisa ends her explanation, takes a short breath. The lab falls into silence. I exchange glances with Kurisa and Daru. I look at Mayuri, but her expression is blank. I guess it was too complicated for
そ
her.
れで
I clear my throat. It's time for the million-dollar question.
どうするって？
タイムリープマシンの扱いに。
For once, my assistant has nothing to say. I already know that she fears we've created a monster. Honestly, I feel the same way. After a few moments, Kurisa finally speaks.
私たちの手に負える代物じゃないのは確かよ。一番無難なのは研究機関に譲渡
I
し
can
て
tell that she's not pleased to have reached this conclusion. She obviously would prefer to experiment with this technology. After all, it's humanity's first time machine. We've finally taken our first steps toward godhood. I'm sure that the nations of the world would pay billions for just one look at our machine. The possibilities that it represents are limitless.
実感が湧かないな。
マユシーも湧かないよ。
いや、マユシは何も手伝ってないからっしょ。
あ、そうだったね。
I mean, that was pretty cute. He said that she doesn't understand because she didn't work on it, not that she's like
岡部の
silly.
意見は。ちなみに法王院じゃなくて岡部の意見ね。
I agree with Kurisa that the time leap machine is dangerous. On the other
実
hand,
験してみたい気持ちはある。
I state my honest feelings. Kurisu gasps.
だが実際にタイムリープを行う
This is unknown territory, not just for us, but for all of the humanity. I look to each of the lab members in turn. Daru quickly looks away. Mayuri's expression is blank. Kurisu stares right back at me.
誰って決めるのは。
僕はパス。
Not a single person here wants the honor of being history's first time traveler. Everyone except for Mayuri is probably thinking about what could go wrong. What if the time leap were to fail?
セルンのタイムマシンみたいにジェリーマン化する可能性。このマシンで送るのはデータであって、実物タイムリープに対する先入観にとらわれないで。まるで意識そのものをカット&ペーストするように。そうじゃなくて、あくまでもコピーオリジナルが消えることはない。
That's a very easy to understand example, but that's not the problem. Yeah, of course she doesn't need to think she already know. Like, we know that. Like, look, she's looking up because she's looking at the universe for all the answers to all the questions. Time flows in a straight line from past to present to future. At least that's how most humans see it. This raises several
過去へ
questions.
転送したデータが何らかのミスで、もし仮に俺が1時間前へフラクタル構造化によりスカスカになった記憶データが
She also doesn't need a time machine to travel. She can do it herself exactly.
それは
I'm glad that we all agree on
一
that.
種の記憶喪失と同じ状態になりかね
We
ない。
form like union of thoughts about who Mayuri really is. Truly a supreme being.
かもね。
もしそうなった場合、その1時間後には現在に到達することにどちらのデータが生き残る。
理屈で考えれば、1時間前にコピーが移された時点で
The conflicting current mean disappears
それは
then.
つまり
わからない。未だかつて時間を超越した前例。
D メールでは世界は改変後に沿って再構成された。
タイムリープしてどうなるかは、タイターが言うように多世界解釈ならタイムリープした時点で別の世界線に分岐する可能性と同時に、現在の岡部が消えない可能性の世界線もと。
But that's only if the many worlds interpretation holds in the first
お
place.
前はタイターの言うことは信じていないのではなかったのか。
可能性の話をしている。 タイターはこの際どうでもいい。コペンハーゲン解釈ならあらゆる状態が波動関数として空間に広がっていることになる。そして観測者が観測した瞬間、どちらか
But
に状
precise
態が
observation is
観
impossible.
測者は誰かというのも問題だ。
第三者じゃね？僕とかマユシとか。
そうとは限らない。
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah,
観測者は
we
俺か
actually
もしれな
also
いし、
had it here in
そ
the
れ以外の誰かかもしれないし。
visual novel, right? The Japanese love the Schrodinger's cat theory. They always put it every time there's physics. They just drop Schrodinger's cat on top of it. To begin with, the Copenhagen interpretation and the many worlds interpretation are both microscale theories used to explain quantum interactions. No one knows whether they can be applied to humans or to the world at large. What about my personal experiences with reading Steiner? If reading Steiner is the sort of power I think it is, then the world-line model is
結
correct.
局は意識はどこにあるというもん。
このタイムリープマシーンが転送するのはあくまで記憶だけ。
転送された時点で今も再構成されるんじゃね？オカリンはリーディングシュタイナーでそれと同じよ。
D メールの場合はそれで納得できた。あれはしかしタイムリープは自分の記憶を過去へ送り込む未来の記憶を思い出した1時間前の俺が因果に干渉するのかしないのかは。
頭がこんがらがなんかもう宗教の分野じゃね？
Is
魂
it
は
a
ど
religious
待って、
question?
あんたたちは人格と意識は1時間前の岡部も今の岡部も1時間分の記憶を持っているかいないか。
そうなのか。
絶対とは言い切れないけど、
The discussion's going nowhere. Personality and consciousness can't be strictly defined, so it's hard to imagine what might happen. Ah, hello Jedi, hello, hi. Oh, thank you for the stretch, highly appreciate it. I moved so much today that
どっち？
I would rather not move.
だからわからないの。この実験は人類のこれまでの既成概念を崩壊させるものになるかも。
We won't know until we try. That's pretty much sums it up. To make matters worse, the subject must be prepared to risk damage to their psyche. Yeah, I need to today. After work I was doing like the deep clean of the entire apartment, right? I'm also pretty pooped today, and I still need to do something for work before tomorrow, so after the stream I'll still be working a bit. Kurisudara and I say no more. We can't solve this problem. This is our limit as scientists, but haven't we accomplished enough already? The time leap machine itself is worthy of a Nobel Prize. We could sell this technology for billions if we so choose. And if we go public with the time leap machine, we can break Sen's monopoly on the time travel technology. That's enough. It has to be.
ねえねえ。
Mayuri, who has been observing the discussion with glassy eyes, opens her mouth to speak.
マユシーはね、例えばね、マユシーの買ってきたバナナをタイム
まゆりったらバナナには人間みたいに脳はないでしょ。
そっか。
You need
そ
a
れじゃ
break.
ダメだね。
The atmosphere in the room gets a little more
実
relaxed.
験はタイムリープマシンはしかるべき研究機関に託そう。
Thanks to the lightning of the moon, I can finally say what was on my mind.
世間に公表
Neither
する。
Kurisu nor Daro objects. No one has touched a time leap machine since that discussion. Ridiculous as it sounds, I can't shake the feeling that it might suck my memories out and fling them into the past. Oh, the time machine does have its appeal, of course. We're all tempted by the idea of becoming humanity's first time leapers. Yet the fear of what could happen won't out in the end. Perhaps as a way to forget our fears and move on, we decide to hold celebration to mark the completion of the device. Everyone feels the need to let loose after working so hard on the project. I have Dad order pizza while Kurisu and I go shopping for snacks. Akiba has always had a lack of supermarkets that hasn't changed even when the anime store is gone. After we finish shopping, Kurisu and I walk along the evening streets. She looks like she's got something to say. She keeps stealing glances
そう
at
な
me.
のか。
不満？
She frowns like she didn't expect that question. Finally, she faces this way.
実験をしなかったことについて。
まさか人間は根源的に時間的ハイデガーの言葉よ。 あんたが実験はしないと決めてくれた時、誰か止める人がいてくれなかったら、私はありがとう。
What's this? Gratitude? Does she have a fever? I put my hand to her forehead to check. She twitches.
何してる？
熱があるせいで女子らしいことを言い出したのかと思ってな。
別にあんたに感謝してるわけじゃないからな。
Her voice is louder than it should be, and several people glance at us. Kurisu blushes and hangs her head. If Dad were here, he would probably get all excited and say, "A real tsundere, sweet."
とにかく
Kurisu clears her throat and returns to her usual sour
形式的に
expression.
お礼を言っただけだから勘違いしないで。
勘違いなどするものか。俺は当然のことをしたまでだからな。ラボ面ナンバー001である。ラボの設立者であるこの俺、法王院京馬が最も優先するのだ。だからお前は感謝する必要はない。
世界に混沌をもたらすとか言ってるくせに。
ラボ面は俺の味方である。
呆れて言葉も出ない。あんた
言葉なら出ているではないか。
You say speechless yet you're
揚げ足取る
speaking.
な。
It's quite mysterious, really. It's only been 2 weeks since Kurisu and I met, and yet it already feels natural for us to be walking together, exchanging banter like this. Perhaps pulling our efforts to create something new, dangerous though it may be, has brought us closer together. I admit that her knowledge and skills are impressive. I would like her to remain at the lab if all is possible, but she said she's going back to America this month. It's already the 13th, so I wonder when she plans to return. Don't forget what Tider said. What? I decided to ask her.
そういえば飛行機のチケット取るの忘れてた。電話レンジの改良に夢中になり。
タイムリープマシンを公表すれば世間は大騒ぎ。
あ、そうか。となるとママ
I accidentally made a time machine and I might not be able to come back to America. I wonder how her mom will react to that. Naturally, I want Kurisu to stay with us to the end. A little bit after we return to the lab, Mayuri gets back.
トゥットゥルーただいま
Seems Mayuri went to Lukako. Suzuha shows up a few minutes later and our development council comes to order. Daru ordered 3 pizzas. We also line up all the snacks we brought on the table. It's just like the party we had a few days ago to cheer up Suzuha. Mayuri wanted to decorate the room, but since everyone's tired, I dismissed it as unnecessary. Looks like Suzuha managed to retrieve her jacket from Mr. Brown.
いやーやばかったあのままだとさ露出狂として一日を過ごす
The Brown
羽目
Tube
になるとこ
workshop's
だったよ
closed. Suzuha made
私
sure the 42-inch CRT was turned off, so there's no need to fear any malfunction from the time leap machine. A heavy sigh escapes my throat. I realized that I've been tense and nervous since the time leap machine was completed. Now I can finally relax. The topic of the time leap machine has become taboo. Even Kurisu doesn't bring it up during the meeting.
だる。お前なぜこの前と全く同じ種類のピザを
I
注文
opened
し
the
たの
pizza
だ。
boxes to find the exact same ones he got for Suzuha's
ズ
party.
バリ僕の好み
Naturally, I'm not amused.
おかりフェリスちゃんやルカちゃんにもね
そうか。
フェリスちゃんは今日は
しまった応援行き
あとねルカちゃんはなんだかはず
ここに来たらまたマユリのコスを着させられ。
コスプレの件か。もしかしてまだ設定
Then what
で
was
き
the
ていない
point of completing the costume?
恥ずかしいんだってかわいい
Useless is
正義
just-
なの
可愛いは正義。
クリスちゃんもね
Risida doesn't know how to react. She blushes and Mayuri starts teasing her like a drunk old man. There's no alcohol at this party, of course.
ねえねえ新作は無理だけどね去年作ったブラチューの
私がコスプレ。
Risa looks conflicted, then she murmurs.
ちょっと興味ある。
Risa freaking cosplay arc, let's go. She sure could have fooled us before, pretending to have no interest in otaku culture.
でも私も人前に出るのはお断りだから。
着るだけでいいよ。でもね、そのうちみんなに見てもらいたくなるよ。コスプレにはそうさせる魔物さんが住んでるんだ。そういえばクリスちゃんっていつも可愛い制服着てるよね。
これ
Kurisu lifts up her
2週間
necktie.
だけアヤメインに逆留学みたいなことしてたんだけど、そこ
ああ、アヤメインなんだ。明日コス持ってくるね。
いいわ。
Looks like Kurisu approves of the cuteness is justice philosophy.
撮影会は何時から？
相変わらず橋田は変態道を邁し。
だってブラチューのせいらっしょ。
パンモロ？
パンツがもろに見えている
Oh
の
my
に。
dear lord.
嘘。
大丈夫だよ。クリスちゃんは知らないかもだけどね、去年ぐらいパンツじゃないから恥ずかしくないもんって。
いやいや、恥ずか。
絶対着てね。やめといた方がいいんじゃないかな。
Suzuha speaks, her tone sharp. She's scowling at Kurisu again. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room changes.
ナキセクリスを信じると。
それどういう意味？
Naturally, my strong-willed assistant isn't one to back down from a fight. Sparks fly between the two
こ
girls.
の前から思ってたんだけど、私
直接は何も。
何よ、私がしたことって。
でしょうね。でも私、
すごい。私の心の中を覗いたん。
装置なんてないよ。強いて言うなら
つまり言いがかりってことか。
事実だってば。
Oh, we've got a situation here. Mayuri clings to me with teary eyes.
光を止めて。
I insert myself between the two girls.
二人ともここは引け。
They both glare at me, dragon and the tiger. Although I'm afraid for my life, I harden my resolve. The mission must succeed. First, I focus on Kurisu.
助手よ。
I didn't
育て
realize
られ
it
た
this
覚え
way.
もない。
マッドサイエンティストを目指す。
聞いてない。なるつもりもない。
戦士。お前が。
岡部倫太郎には忠告したよね。
You're going to mention that here now?
どういうことよ、岡
Their
部。
eyes are like laser beams boring into my skull. I want nothing more than to flee for my life, but Mayuri is here.
お前たちどちらも引くつもりはないようだな。
Fight to your heart's content.
だから生涯社会に出る時のためお前たちは二人とも
うるさい。
Getting yelled at by both of them at the same time sends shivers down my spine. It's coming. I quickly seize my right arm. I turn around and head back to Mayuri.
マユリすまない。
Mayuri pushes her cheeks out and goes over to the two girls.
二人とも聞いて。マユシーはね。
Hearing this, the two combatants reluctantly comply. I expected this would happen. Mayuri is the oil that keeps the gears of this lab churning around. The throbbing in my right arm dissipates. Naru comes over to chat with Suzuha and gradually peace returns to the lab. Kurisu's in the development room making a call, probably to her mother in America. I sit on the sofa and watch TV while sipping Dr. P. I mean, of course, whatever it is, we need Mayuri for this thing to succeed, right? The TV is running a game show where contestants guess the prices of popular items at high-class restaurants. She peels a banana and begins eating it.
ねえねえ、オカリ
ん
Mayuri slowly looks around the lab, smiling all the while.
なんかね、ここ何週間かですぐ。
ああ確かに。
I established a future gadget laboratory around the time I entered college. It was the first step in my plan to bring chaos to the world. That was around the middle of March this year, which means it's been almost 5 months. Might as well change game's name to Mayuri's Gate, or wait, it sounds kinda sus. I mean, I'm pretty sure it would make Daru's nose bleed. Not half a month later, it was established. Mayuri showed up. I'm still not sure why, and became a lab mem. For about a month, it was just me and Mayuri. Then in early May, I finally got Daru to join. All it took was telling him that the lab is just a 3-minute walk from Mei Quinyan Square. This location on the outskirts of Akiba has always been quiet. Mayuri isn't the type to object to every little thing like Kurisu, nor the type to make dumb jokes like Daru, so the lab was very peaceful back in those days. It was quite a pleasant place to be. And now the lab member count has increased to 8. It happened in the blink of an eye, or so it seems. They didn't come today, but Lukako visits occasionally, and Faris is a familiar face at Mei Quinyan Square. Kind reminder, Mei Quinyan Square doesn't exist, or at least she was before Mei Queen disappeared. Yeah, I should have read the sentence until the end before making comments. I remember feeling out of place the first time I came to Akiba, but now it's like a second home.
楽しいね。
Mayuri too seems pleased by the increase in lab mems.
ラボ面が8人に増えたでしょ。まずね、椅子が足りないのです。
The sofa only has a room for 2. Then there's Daru's personal desk chair. Those are the only chairs in the lounge. There are some pipe chairs in the development room, but they need to stay there.
買ってこなくちゃ。
椅子を買うと貯金が底をつく。
Then I would need to get a part-time job
じゃあ
again.
マユシーのバイト代もちょっと。あとはね、電子レンジ新しいの買わないと。
Let's remind while talking about warming juicy chicken #1.
それはすまん。
Cutting off Mayuri's chicken supply might actually kill
だ
her.
がマユリ、タイムリープマシンを譲渡してシャレ
椅子と電子レンジの代金と。
もらえるさ。もっとも。
そうなんだ。
なぜそんなに嬉しそうなんだ？
だってお友達ダルくんでしょ、クリスちゃんでしょ。
She gazes
ルカ
wistfully
ちゃ
into
ん
the
に
distance.
春の頃はオカリンはとっても寂しそうだった。もう大丈夫。マユシーが。
それはどういう。
What do you mean? I tried to ask, but before I can finish, an urgent news bulletin appears on the TV. The subtitles read, Terrorist bomb threat suspends Yamanote, Sobo, Keihin Tohoku lines.
爆破テロ予告？
つうか全部秋葉原駅通ってるじゃん。マユシ帰れないんじゃね？
本当だ。家に。
A bomb threat. I don't know why, but I've got a bad feeling about this. Only the lines passing through Akiba are suspended, as if that were the target. Wait, could that be it? Could the bomb at the Akiba station? I get a cold feeling in my stomach.
岡部倫太郎、一つ聞かタイムリープマシンは完成してるんだよね。
は？
そっか。私、用事思い出したから、ちょっと出かけてくる。
The hell leaves the lab without another word.
何なの彼女。
Yama's acting strange. Is it related to the bomb threat? Why did she just ask about the time leap machine? Something occurs to me. The 2 threatening emails I received. We're watching you. You know too much. Who sent them? And there's more. Words and images flashes through my head. CERN. The LGC. Jellyman. The Z program. Government secrets. The organization. Men in Black. The Committee of 300. The Time Leap Machine. What did Kurisu say?
私たち
You may have created a monster here.
とんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。
Yeah, the keywords for Steins is juicy chicken and IBM 5100. And banana. Taken separately, each of these elements was significant, but if I consider them part of a single line, they all point to one inescapable truth. We've come too far. Fear seizes my heart in an icy grip. I can feel anxiety eating my brain. I can't breathe. Even though it's hot and humid, my body shivers. Should we run? get out while we still can? We can't use the trains. What about the subway? Or would a taxi be better? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. What should we do? Suddenly there's a softness against my hand. I look down to see Mayuri's hand holding mine. When I look up, I see worry written on her face. I'm just being paranoid. It's all a coincidence. Tomorrow we'll get rid of the time leap machine. Then we can forget that all of this happened. Pretend it was just a dream. We never invented a time machine. I don't need money. As long as we can forget about today and welcome tomorrow, we'll be okay, won't we? But my anxiety doesn't go away. I look over Mayuri's head at the entrance to the lab. The door is unlocked. Anyone could just waltz right in. I hear silence wailing a few streets away. The bomb threat has Akiba in an uproar. Yet here in our corner of Akiba it's so quiet. Mayuri squeezes my hand with her warm, slender fingers. I squeeze back. The next thing I know, the door slams open. 5 men burst into the lab. Their movements are swift and sure, professional, and each of them is carrying a gun. They spread out just inside the door and aim their weapons at us. It all happens so fast no one has time to scream. The men are foreigners, a mix of races, dressed casually in colorful shirts and shorts of jeans. But their arms are thick with muscle and their eyes are hard as cold ice. 2 of them are holding pistols, the other 3 have assault rifles. AK-47s and Akiba, is this some kind of joke? One thing is certain, these guys aren't tourists. The dark-skinned, crude man barks an order. It feels like I'm dreaming. Did I fall asleep watching an action movie? This is the first time so many people have gathered in this room. Suddenly, the lab feels small. What an odd thing to be thinking at a time like this. The first to obey is Daru. Then Kurisu raises her hands. Then me. Last is Mayuri. Silence. Time seems to grind to a halt. The men say nothing, but their guns remain steady, muzzles pointed at us. On the TV, a comedian laughs. What is this? Are we on the candid camera? Then I hear a new sound coming from the outside, the sound on high heels. A woman is coming up the stairs. Are these men waiting for her? Is she their leader? A squad of battle-hardened commandos led by a beautiful woman is like something out of a manga. Nothing seems real. Before long, the woman appears. The part-time editor. The male demon, shining finger who's never seen without her phone. Labman 005. Moeka. She's the real leader. The least imposing woman I've ever met. Even now she doesn't meet my stare. Her eyes are aimed down at the floor. What's going on here? As always, her words are barely audible. It's ridiculous, laughable, and yet I can't laugh. My heart is a jackhammer in my chest. The inside of my mouth is drier than a desert. I stay still, with my hands in the air. I don't understand. Why is Moeka here? I don't know, but I have to ask. Moeka shakes her head. No reply. She doesn't intend to answer that either. See, that's why you should stay loyal to Mayuri. If you stayed loyal to Mayuri, then you would not have your heart broken like that right now. Dangerous. These guys are dangerous. Look at their guns. Nothing good can happen if we go with them. I try to refuse, but my voice catches in my throat. I can't stop staring at their guns. Are they real? They're not going to start shooting, are they? Wait, something clicks in my head. It was them. They sent the bomb threat. They stopped the trains. Why? To keep us here? Just for that? Risu, who has kept silent until now, finally opens her mouth. That's just when I realize that Mayuri wasn't included in Moeka's demands. She only wants Kurisu, Daru, and me. We're not going anywhere.
おかりん
Daddy's voice is shaking. I turn my head to look at him. He's deathly pale.
とりあえず言うことは
Honestly, I have no idea what to do. My heart is still fluttering in my chest. This seems more like a dream than reality. I'm not a military otaku. I've never seen a real gun. The black shine of their weapons looks somehow tacky. They lack the imposing feel you expect. I'd believe her if she told me they were fake. Mayuri suddenly speaks up.
萌香さんは
It's as if Mayuri asked my question for me. Moeka was a strange woman, but I welcomed her as a lab mem all the same. What is she thinking right now? In answer, Moeka pulls a gun from her belt and points it at us. I realize that Moeka isn't holding her phone. This is the first time I've seen her without it. Not like that matters now. Moeka's gun hand is trembling. Is the situation affecting her too? It must be. She's terrified of talking to people.
一緒に来てもらうのはあなたたちの口を封じるため。
Silence us.
それは拒否しても変わらない。
Does that mean she plans to kill us? What did we
一
do?
体
私たちは
Mecca suddenly lifts her head. For perhaps the third time since I've known her, she looks straight up at me. Her eyes are dark and
セル
empty.
ンの
Sir,
M4
the dark-skinned man speaks up. Is he addressing
口
Mecca?
を慎め
Mecca hands her head again. In my head, I replay the words she just spoke. CERN. They're from CERN. Why CERN? Of course, who else could that be?
3人とも一緒に来て。
Mecca raises her voice in
これ
frustration.
以上拒否するなら嫌でも
Mecca slowly raises her
生
gun.
き
She
たくない
points the
ようにする
muzzle
か
at Mayuri. My whole body instantly goes
ら。
cold.
椎名眉毛は必要ない。
よせ
I lunged at Mecca, but the dark-skinned man is faster. Something strikes my chin with crushing force. The shock numbs my entire body. Stars explode behind my eyes. I fall to my knees, powerless to stand. Everything goes dark. What happened? Did he hit me with the butt of his rifle? I look up. Mayuri's face, streaked with tears, is reaching out to me as if begging for help. Over her shoulder, I see Moeka ready her gun. I try to yell stop, but my voice catches in my throat. Nothing comes out but a pitiful wheeze. Someone, anyone, please, stop her. Stop Moeka. Moeka's lips move. She's mumbling
セ
something.
ルンのために FP のためにセルンのために
Her mouth opens and closes robotically. My blood curdles. No. A sharp, dry crack splits the air. Time slows to a crawl. Moeka pulls the trigger. Blood spurts from Mayuri's forehead. Bro. It splashes across my face, wet and warm. Her delicate, frail body falls towards me. I mean... Bro. I catch her. Her body is limp like a puppet with no strings. Her head and arms dangle lifelessly. The smell of a gunpowder fills my nose. And then the smell of blood. Yeah, fucking Moeka indeed. Daru clutches his head and falls to his knees, screaming. The sound jerks me back to my senses. In my arms, Mayuri takes one short, shallow breath. And then...
マユリ
He's dead. Mayuri's dead. Her face is covered in blood. Her blood stains in my hands. It's warm.
もう一度言う。3人ともこれ以上の警告はしない。抵抗するならあなたたちも殺す。
I hear a voice, but I can't comprehend what it's saying. What is this? What's going on here? Is this a joke? We may have created a monster here. This is a dream, right? Right? I feel nothing. My mind is blank. I shake Mayuri's shoulder. Mayuri? Wake up, Mayuri. You'll catch cold if you sleep here. If you're tired, you can stay overnight. Or I can take you home if you prefer. We'll ride the train back to Ikebukuro together like we used to before Daru joined, when it was just the two of us. Memories of her smile whirl through my head and 1,000 different smiles from 1,000 different occasions. If I look away, she'll disappear. She always disappears.
もう大丈夫だね。マユシーが人質じゃなくても。
That was a very, very tragic foreshadowing. No, Mayuri, I still need you. Laugh for me, like you always do. Greet me with your silly toot-toot. Tell me it's a lie. Tell me you're alright. Mayuri? Red flames consume my mind, an inferno of rage and hate and rage and hate and the burning desire to kill everything I see. I gently laid emotionless Mayuri on the floor. I stand up, and then I fling myself at Moeka. But before I can take a step, someone grabs my hand from behind. Her fingers already on the trigger. This made me cry reading the light novel the first time, not gonna lie. No wonder that was traumatic. I feel traumatized completely right now. We were just drooling over Mayuri and how cute and pure and wholesome she is, and then she just died in front of us. I tear my hand from Kurisu's grip. My vision is a tunnel with a Moeka on the other side. She won't get away with this. She killed Mayuri in cold blood. I'll do the same to her. Moeka pulls the trigger. The sound of the sword smites up my eardrums. I feel a sharp pain on the side of my head. I nearly lose balance again, but I'm still alive. What happened? I realize that Moeka's gun is laying at her feet. Beside it, just a small stone. Someone must have thrown it and knocked her gun aside. That's Suzuha. Suddenly, Suzuha is there in the doorway, knocking one man down in a blink of an eye. Before anyone can react, she darts into another man's range and delivers a piercing elbow strike to his solar plexus. The man drops to his knees, gasping for air. The remaining men turn their guns on her, but she throws the incapacitated man towards them to block their aim. She then slides into the feet of the man at the rear, tripping him forward, and in a single smooth flowing motion drives her knee into the man's face as he falls. The dark-skinned man aims his rifle, but before he can fire, Suzuha snatches a stunned attacker's gun and shoots him. Blood spurts from the man's hand. Without pausing, Suzuha leaps into the air and delivers the soaring roundhouse kick to his jaw. The next thing I know, the 5 men are down and Moeka's guns aim at Suzuha's face. But Suzuha doesn't back down. Her gun is trained on Moeka's neck. It's a standoff. Neither moves. Silence returns to the room.
42
Suzuha's reply makes no sense. She glances at me. What is she saying?
点灯済み
She prepped us so we can leap back in time. Suddenly, Kurisu springs up and makes a break for the development room.
それはこっちのセリフ
I suddenly realize the meaning of Suzuha's words. The 42-inch TV downstairs, it's on. She wants me to use the time leap machine. I look at Mayuri's body. She's lying there quietly. Her eyes are closed. They'll never open again. One of the men Suzuha knocked out starts to moan. If they wake up, it's all over. Suzuha looks at me again. Her eyes implore me to make my move. If I use the machine, I can't avert Mayuri's death. but at the same time, it could fry my brain. Fry my brain? So what? What is there to fear? Mayuri is dead, shot in cold blood. This isn't right. I won't accept it. Then change it. Change the past. You have the power, use it. I stagger into development room. Kurisu is about to put on the headgear. I pull it away from her.
岡部
俺が飛ぶ。
ダメ私が
I grab Kurisu's wrist as she tries to take it back. I stare into her eyes wet with tears.
俺がマユリを助ける。
もし失敗したら
I ignore him and put on a headgear. Maleka's last shot grazed the side of my head. My ears are still ringing and there's blood on my neck. It doesn't matter. I might fail, I might even die, but I have to try. It's my only chance to save Mayuri. Kurisu bites her lip and activates the X68000.
岡部倫太郎一人いったこの線使わせるな
やらせるか
The crew cutman staggers into development room. Acting purely on instinct, I grab future gadget number 4, mowed snake from the shelf and flick the switch. Bright smoke instantly fills the room, rendering it impossible to see.
クリス
タイムリープしてもいいの
やれクリスマシンを動かせあ
Pain flares into my right arm. Was I shot? It doesn't matter. I see blue white light shining through the smoke. The discharge is starting. The light rapidly grows brighter. The floor begins to shake. The singularity is open. I crouch down, holding the headset steady with one hand. Wait for me, Mayuri. I won't die here. I'll cross through time to save you. Leap, my memories. Leap to the past. The world explodes into light. Oh, this time the screen is different. Oh, that's actually... I mean, I said we were finished at like 1... at like 11 p.m. my time, right? And here we are. We actually managed to finish entire freaking chapter. That is impressive.